Previously on Dark Heresy. You can.
Yarn's back.
Guess who's back? Yarn is back. Following their victory over the Mother and her followers, the Acolytes searched the area for valuables or clues as to what had happened. Nixius took the giant pearl from the Mother's corpse and reasoned it must have great value as either a trading commodity or as a crafting reagent.
Sorry, just interject.
Go on then.
You were saying, sorry, wait a second. I can't say it. Just carry on reading now.
No. I need to like you've ruined it now, Jenny. You're like, I'm not gonna be able to continue you until you get your double entendre off your back. I know it's a risky area when we're talking about Mother's Pearls, but
right, well, it was the Acolyte, also known as the motherfucker.
we do need a group name.
Cell 54, the motherfuckers. I get it. Very good. Very good.
Cell 53, the prostitute fuckers.
One of them.
That's just 25%.
I'm working on the rest.
Okay. Right. I shall try and start again then. So where are we? So Kiyoshi found a clutch of eggs next to a half-eaten corpse. He slaughtered the mother's young using Kazashini, his trusted blade. Courtney found a black gemstone pendant that seemed to glimmer with a hidden light following the death of the abomination. Excuse me. Pressing it into the overseer's study, the Acolytes found a diary detailing his recent takeover of the mine, along with some other valuable items. They elected not to take the finely weaved rug that tied the room together. Sister Zanfei seemed scarred from her experience in the mines, and Kiyoshi, seemingly unwilling to kill Zanfei for her betrayal, instead used his words to strike a vicious blow upon her. The Acolytes pressed back to the room that they had found earlier that was locked, and used a newly looted key to gain entry. Inside were captives who had not joined the cult known as the Mother's Men. Fear, desperation, and death awaited them in that room. But they also found their quarry, Talos Greyheart, who they discovered was hideously mutated. The talk of rescue excited the prisoners, but the Acolytes had transfer papers only for Talos. Talos advised that to leave these creatures to be captured again and put back to work in the cobalt mine was a cruelty. A kinder act would be to put them to death.
Definitely.
Courtney obliged, turning a water gun upon the captives and spraying the chamber with clip after clip.
I missed this bit.
Good clip.
Nixius and Talos used the melter gel to detonate part of the chasm from which the Mother had made her approach into the world. Significant sections of the chasm were brought away from the wall and fell into the deep darkness, seeming to fall forever. Cell 54 made their way back to Lost Hope and received a reward from the head administrator, 500 drachma, and a ceremonial key that would allow Nixius to a 15% discount on further slave trade. They heard that it's always helpful. They heard that the other mines had been subverted, which tied in with their findings from the journal of the Overseer. They took the Orphean Express back to the spaceport for evac. Their mission a success.
Cell 54.
Back at
Love is no more.
Port Chula. Back at Port Chula.
Hear it like should.
The
Back
bimbling.
Back at Port Chula, Cell 53 could not quite boast the same level of success. Having lost their long-range Vox, they were summoned back to the spaceport using a servo skull. but located Arnie and played a recording on repeat. The Inquisitor sought a mission debrief on progress on the mission objective. Cell 53 and 54, sharing some time together in the cargo lifter, got to know each other a little better. Yarn expressed dismay at the fate of the mutants Talos, convinced that a similar fate awaited them if they dallied too long on this world. Quintius made himself acquainted with the priestess Clematis.
Bonjour.
Returning to the ship, the Emperor's grave, the Acolytes started to devise schemes to avenge themselves upon the crooked quartermaster, Dominic Peters. They learned of a black market on board the ship and sought it out, seeking explosives to turn to their schemes. En route to the mess room, they came across the head doctor, Dr. Festus Bucket, who was beside himself with worry, having lost his bald cat monkey, Kara. He advised that Quintius appeared to be a specimen of health, and beseeched the Acolytes to retrieve his precious cat monkey. He took the group back to the medbay, where he gave Yarn a toy, badly chewed, and a bowl belonging to Kara. Quintius helps himself to a brightly coloured vial, his sleight of hand allowing him to steal the vial without anyone other noticing. The group went onto the mess room, where they supped on gruel paste. Although bland and unappetizing, the foodstuff was filling and nutritious, and there was a pleasure eating food that had not been prepared on the planet below. Alexa made a highly detailed and comprehensive analysis of the gruel paste and found it to have a vegetable basis, along with many synthetic additives, nutrients, and calorific bulkers and fillers.
Vital.
Vital information. She found the paste to be free of cat monkey, or indeed any meat protein.
That's what I was.
The old vegan paste.
It is vegan safe. At the mess room, they made the acquaintance of a stormtrooper called Rastin, who took shine to both Alexa and Quintius, and offered to escort them to a hidden drinking establishment where black market contacts could be found. Okay. So that is where we will begin. Let us see. So Rastin leads you to a door. You're deep below the substructure of the ship now, having travelled through some transport conduit. And he leads you to a door inscribed with the image of a crow. And he leads you inside to a makeshift drinking establishment. You are immediately struck by how little space there is in here. There are around 100 patrons, all crammed in, some standing, some sat on and around empty storage crates that serve as chairs and tables. There are a few stools to be seen, but mostly the furniture is improvised. And Rastin leads you to an empty missile crate that serves as the bar. On the bar sits a large book filled with rows of names and numbers. There are two large vats with taps housed in them behind. And also behind the bar there is a halfling. Okay, so we're back with we're in the main group now. So you're on your main characters, and sorry,
I'm in the bar.
yeah, everyone in Cell 53 is here.
Halfling
Yep.
or rattling? Just what system are we playing?
Is it rattling? Oh yes, rattling. That makes more sense than a halfling, doesn't it? Thanks, James. Keep me on straight and narrow. Yeah, there's a halfling behind the.
What was up with Cell 53? The Inquisitors want to debrief, so we go drinking.
No, the debrief is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So it's approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon, ship time. So you have nearly a full day to yourself to fill before you debrief.
Oh,
So you got that's your next deadline, the debrief tomorrow. But you've got plenty of time to to pursue your own pursuits.
Okay.
So Rastin goes up to the bar. I'll just try and remember what. Try and get into accent mode for a second. He goes, "Oh, Jaffers, I'll have a round of clear." And he gestures to you, his new companions. There's also another couple of stormtroopers who've come down with him, part of his squad, you assume. There's 2 Feruvians with him, and another stormtrooper who's you don't recognise his homeworld. And Jaffers, the halfling / ratling, he makes a note in this big book that's on the bar, and he makes a note. But he doesn't take any money off of Rastin.
It can't be a Jaffa again.
I kick him.
Big
From
Jaffa.
Kick Jaffers.
Rastin pulls out
Do
he pulls out like a tin mug, and then he looks a bit abashed for a second, and he realizes that he goes, yeah, it's kind of bring your own glasses here. It's a bit of an improvised bar, this place. Have you got anything to put your booze in?
Well, I did have a rather splendid tin helm we could have all drunk from with the straw, but however, I seem to have misplaced it.
I have my army ration water canister.
Hey, so you pull out your you pull out your water canister. Pull the water away, I assume.
No, I'll drink the water first.
Drink the water first. Very good.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not. Feels refreshing.
I wash myself a little bit with it as well, because water's tight on ships.
What about the rest of you? Have you got anything to drink from?
I'm going to turn to Alexa and pull out the vial I took from the med bay.
Fuck's sake, man, not do it.
I believe you perhaps can analyze what's in here, Alexa, my dear. Any chance you could have a quick sniff?
Yeah, go on. Okay. I'll take it and pop it open. And then
Oh no!
do my thing. And then
Okay. Right. Okay.
Little probe comes out the finger. Take a small sample.
Mhm.
Of it.
Okay, I'd like you to make a tech use test, please.
Next.
And this is going to be a -10. Oh, I'm cooking. All right, it's looking pretty good.
Cool.
So, I don't believe you've got much in the way of. Have you got Medicaid or not, John? Let's have a look.
No.
You not got? I don't think you got too much in the way of skills such as chemistry or drug
Nothing like
use
that.
or Medicaid or anything like that. So you can make some assessment here, but you are limited. You know, if you've got some, if you have more skills, you'll be able to get a better indication as to what you're seeing.
We ain't got Suzanne, have we?
She left. She left the group at the shuttle bay. You're not sure where she went. So you make an appraisal of this. So what you can tell is it is has an active component in there. It is a fully formulated drug. So you think that it's a long-lasting drug that you would take orally. And it would give. You're not quite sure what the effect of this drug would be, however, but you are quite sure that it's ready to use, and you presume it's for a beneficial purpose. You don't think it's like a combat drug or a recreational drug of any kind. You think it's a medicinal drug, fully formulated, but you're not quite sure what it does.
Okay.
Like say, if you want to like build up.
And then list off all the chemicals.
Okay.
Slow down dramatically.
Okay,
So what's going on there?
I'll take it back and just go, I was hoping perhaps it was something less interesting. I would have used it for a drink. I'm just going to tuck it away and start looking round, see if there's any unguarded drinking containers.
Okay, give me one sec, guys. I'm just going to turn the fan on. It's getting a bit warmer now.
Okay. I'm about to start abusing sleight of hand a lot. I'm going to steal us all a cup.
You are scum after all. You should be at this.
And I am going to get progressively more scummy and less noble-like as the game goes on.
Nicole
Oh,
says
there we go.
hello. Nicole says hi.
Hi, Nicole.
People say hello. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, I've got the cat monkey bowl.
I'm going to appears to be made out of. No, I'm joking. Kidding.
Okay, so just to come back to your question, Quintius, there were a lot of people. There were about 100 patrons crammed into this improvised drinking establishment, and you know you might be able to pinch somebody's glass if you have a mind to. So you all are quite packed in.
Yeah.
Arnold, you've got a drinking.
You've
got a canteen.
Yeah, go pass it to the barman. What's
Okay, what about the barman? The halfling's called Jaffers.
Jaffers.
You notice you've got quite hairy toes.
Could you feel? What's that?
What's the what?
Please, could you fill up my drinking canister?
Of course I can. He takes the canteen. He also takes Rattlin's kind of tin mug. What about the others? Rattlin's bought you a drink, but you kind of need something to put it in.
Yeah.
The cat monkey bowl.
You've got the cat monkey bowl. Okay, there is a little bit of kind of residual meat in the bowl, but you can give it a wipe down.
Right.
Give it a bit of spit and polish before you hand it over.
Okay, I'm going to.
Take that off.
You're doing what? Sorry.
Taking a flak helmet off.
Flak helmet. I don't recall you having. Oh, flak
helmet.
helmet. You want to drink out of a flak helmet?
That's how we things in cell 53.
I'm going to try and steal an unguarded cup.
Okay, so I would like you, please, Quintius, to make a sleight of hand roll. Now, your mark is quite inebriated, so I'd like you to add +20 to this.
Okay. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to fate point that. Just a second. My character sheet is a bit confused on Quintius.
How so?
It says at the bottom, my total fate points are 2 and my current fate points are 3. I normally have 2, don't I?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, there might well have been a temporary fate point that you got at some point that is.
Yeah, there was.
That will get used as soon as you use the fate point, but then it'll bring it down to 2. And,
yeah, that was it.
That's probably you probably made a 1 on a roll somewhere and you got a bonus fate point.
I think it was wanted for banging Brittany.
It could well have been.
It was. Yeah.
3 points. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn that then. I'm gonna burn away my temporary fate point and re-roll that motherfucker.
Okay.
+20. Shit!
Oh no! Oh no! So you look around and you see a Mark, and he has quite an attractive-looking tankard that you think will be better suited in your hand. And you move across to him, and you work your magic. However, you go for the art of a distraction, like look over there. No, I was saying perhaps a bit more complex than that. But
3-headed monkey.
But yeah, I mean, while he's distracted talking to someone else, you try and take the tankard. But instead of adeptly taking it, you catch it and you knock it from the table. Well, I say table; it's more of a series of ammo crates stacked up together, and you knock it to the floor, and it hits the floor with a terrible clang. A drink is spilt, and the person who your mark, who you think is he's a perhaps a gunnery loader. You know, he looks muscled, but he's not a military man, but he looks like he's doing physical work. He clocks that you've tried to take his, or you clock that he's knocked your drink over, and he turns around and he fixes you with a stare.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, my good man. An accident. I'm such a clumsy oaf, especially after a few snifters. Do apologise. And I'm going to try and scuttle away.
Okay, he stands up, and he's not that tall, but he perhaps thinks that he's a bit taller than he is, and he starts to square off against you and says, "You got to pay for that here."
Oh, yes, of course. Please hand me your drink, and I'll be happy to get it topped up for you. How's that?
Okay. He picks it up and he pushes it at you, and kind of a bit rougher than he needs to. And he looks like he's spoiling a bit for a fight, this one, and his voice is slurring slightly.
Right. I'll be right back, my good man. And I'm going to take his drink thing over to the bar.
And he's watching you. He's watching you quite carefully as you do all this.
Okay. Right. I'm just going to hand it to the barman. Fill it up, please, my good man. I believe I'm on Mr. Raston's tab.
Okay, so the barman jaffers. He fills up a shot into like
Drink
a healthy shot
Do it. Drink it in front of him.
into the canteen of Arnie, into the bowl. He looks a bit confused by this as he pours some spirits into a bowl. Are you doing a flak helmet then? Will you go for that one, Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then he pours some into a helmet. He looks really confused.
Thank
And then he tops up the tankard as well. Which now you look at it a bit closer, you're actually really quite coveting this tankard. It is really quite delightful. You don't know why. I mean, it's nothing special about it. You can see, but it has a certain rustic charm.
Do I notice Quintius is holding this tankard when it gets
Oh
passed
yeah,
across the bar?
He comes back to the bar where you are.
Oh, nice tankard. We used to have things like this in Fenris. Where
Yes,
did you pull that from, Quintius?
Well, I've borrowed it from my new friend over there. Unfortunately, I made a little bit of a mess and spilt his drink, so I'm just topping it up for him and taking it back. I'll be right back, Arnold. And I'm going to start heading back.
I'm going to watch you go across, actually. So I'm watching you now.
You see, there's someone watching Quintius with a glower on his face over at a nearby table.
I'm gonna smile at him, wave, hold up the drink, and start heading over. Does he maintain eye contact with me the whole time?
He does, yes. So everyone else is get your drinks back. So you've now got a round of this spirit. It's a clear spirit. Seems quite high in alcohol content.
I would like to ritually imbibe the drink and try and channel the cat monkey into some kind of. It's the skill I've got. Soothsay.
You want to do a soothsaying here in the bar.
Monkey as I drink from its bowl.
Okay, well we can do that. We can certainly do that. Just let me finish it with Quintius first, and then we'll come back to this impromptu soothsaying at the bar.
I've just realised something, Al, as well. I am currently fatigued from the drink I had on the cargo lifter back.
Okay, well we'll say that's passed for now.
Okay.
Okay, we'll say back up to full strength. A little bit of time has passed.
Fair enough.
Okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing, Quintius? You walk back towards this guy who, like I say, he's watching you profusely, and you get the impression you've seen this sort of type of person before. There's some anger within him, and you think that he's spoiling for a fight.
Right. Well, I'm going to take quite a long time walking back. The whole time smiling and waving at him and raising the drink. But I am taking an excessive amount of time, mainly because I'm looking for something. Hang on. that'll do. Yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
I'm just going to walk over to him and go, here you are. No hard feelings, my good man. And just dunk, put it down on top of the ammo crate where I originally knocked it from.
Okay, he doesn't thank you. He just looks at you and says, you ought to be more careful. People around here don't want to make an enemy of Slug.
Slug. Slug, is it? What a wonderful name, sir. You enjoy your drink, my good man, and I'll be on my way. And as I turn to walk off, I'm just gonna mutter, maybe a bit too loud, bloody half-witted galumpus, and just carry on going. And that's another one of my Victorian insults I've been waiting to use.
Okay, now you get the impression. First of all, I'm going to make a. So you say it's probably a bit too loud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just see if he's aware enough to hear you.
Lifetime of loading the gunner might have affected his hearing.
So it's possible. So I made a roll, but he's obviously on a hair trigger, and he goes, "You what?" And he stands back up.
I said I really must go and look for the doctor's cat puss, sir. I'm just going to try and wriggle out of his grasp, get away from him, things like that. Head back towards the bar as quick as I can.
Okay, I think I would like you at this stage to roll initiative, please.
Hit the bet.
Oh, have we had a bar? We've already had a Barbara on in this campaign, haven't we? Let's have another one.
No, that was. Have we had a bar brawl?
No,
that was a day.
Have we?
That's day. No. Wow. There's no time like the present. Okay, so please roll
An 8.
an 8. Okay, so what's your
34.
What's your 34? Okay, so he's got an 8 as well. So you've got the initiative on him. You realise he's standing up, and you realise that he's rushing towards you. His fists are clenched.
Oof.
But you have the initiative.
Right. Okay. I'm going to let him.
I'm still watching.
You're still watching him. Everyone else will get a chance to act shortly. I'm just going to do a quick round with these two. But then you'll get the chance to interject if you want, the rest of you.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold my action.
Okay.
I'm going to hold half an action, and basically time it as he rushes me with my sword stick cane with the fancy helix cane that I got. I'm just going to fucking uppercut him in the chin as he rushes at me and hope for the best.
Okay. So he rushes towards you, trying to land a blow on you, and you get a chance to strike first with the helix cane.
Right.
Make a roll to hit. So
this is going really badly. The cane doesn't have anything fancy, does it? It's just a standard. Yeah. So I get a +10. Just single attack.
Yeah, +10.
Nope.
Okay, so you strike at him with the cane, but he's a wily foe. He's Slug, and he ducks to the side of your strike, and he tries to land you with a right hook.
Okay.
Okay, it's a clean and pure blow with his fist.
I'm going to try
straight for your notorious glass jaw. What are you going to try and parry or dodge?
I'm going to try and dodge.
Okay.
Parrying a punch feels wrong.
No, you've got
Yes. Very good. Okay. Perhaps all of it is sort of his combat experience that you've got on the planet, but you just pull your glass jaw back far enough away. His right hook just misses you by a few centimeters.
Okay.
Now I'd like everyone else to roll initiative as well if you want to get involved. But the minute, yeah, it's up to you. If you want to get involved, it might well be that other people join in to fight on the side of Slug as well. You don't know. He is drinking with other people, but whether they're friends or not.
What are they doing?
Well, at the minute, there's a group of people with him that seem to be watching and kind of like excited by the fact there's a fight going on. And at the minute, they're just watching and drinking and enjoying the spectacle.
I'm just going to take a drink out of the helmet.
Okay, you're going to do the same. Okay, so I'd like everyone to roll initiative, please, if you want to. So, I mean, if you're just going to drink on the sidelines, Johnny, you don't need to roll initiative. But anyone else who,
I will absolutely neither in or out of character not hold it against you if you do not join in this fight I've started.
Annie chops a bit for
This
it,
is more of a watch
It's-
for this
it's-
one.
He's a
It's more of
violent
a
man
watch.
like Slugger. Or Slug.
It's
okay, Arnie, so you've got initiative of 1 plus your agility, which is 4, is it?
Probably. It's 4, yeah,
4, 5.
42.
So it's 5 total.
Yeah.
I certainly won't be
Jan?
drawing a weapon in this because that feels like it might be a bad idea.
Yeah, you don't know the kind of rules of etiquette aboard the ship, but you are aware that in many places there's, you know, that the person who draws weapons to start with sets the rules for engagement. That's very common throughout the collector sector, but you're not quite sure what the rules are on board the ship. It could just be, you know, winner takes all, win at any cost, or it could be there's more gentlemanly rules of standard. So,
Best to
We'll find
die
out.
lose. You want it?
hey, Jan, do you want to get involved, or are you going to sit and watch the?
I'm going to sit and watch the Bamba Clot.
Okay, Nani, you're getting up and deciding you're going to help Quintius out. Okay, so first up is Quintius. You have the initiative.
Okay, so I've just nimbly dodged this punch by some sheer fucking fluke. I'm gonna grab the helix cane in both hands and furiously whip it round in an all-out attack.
Okay.
And give him a smack with it.
Okay, all that attack there. So plus 30.
There we go. 4 degrees of success. That is
Okay,
it.
very good. Let me get my doodles. Okay, so you're doing all that attack. Strike him on the shoulder. Or do you? Slug attempts to dodge. But he does not dodge in time. I'd like you to roll damage with the sword stick cane, which is an improvised weapon. Oh,
No,
it's a
it's not
helix
the sword-
cane. Yeah,
Helix
it's
cane. I mean, it's,
You need to roll a
it's just
10 and kill him right here, right now.
Oh no, that's
would it
Sounds
be
amazing.
like improvised weapon? Would it not be?
yeah. So it would be D10 minus 2, plus my strength. So that would be 4. So it'd be 6. I believe
Okay.
improvised D10 minus 2, isn't it?
I thought improvised was more like D5 minus 2.
Oh, I don't know now. Hang on, I've got the book here.
I seem to think. I think like a knife is D5.
Hang on, won't be a second.
Or it might be D5 minus 1, something like that. Yeah,
Improvise.
I think D10 sounds too high to me for an attack with a.
I think
walking
we were
stick.
discussing what to do with all this sort of stuff, weren't we?
We did,
it's in,
yeah.
in the rule book, it is D10 minus 2, but I think we were changing it, weren't we, to make it worse than a knife, or we talked about changing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's what I'd like you to roll is we'll call it. What's an unarmed punch as well? What's that? D5 minus 2.
D5 minus 2, yeah.
We'll call it D5 minus 1 for the.
Okay, so
walking stick for the time being until we settle on the system.
D5 minus 1, that would be a 1 plus my strength, so 3.
Okay, so you catch him a solid blow on the shoulder, and he, you know, it must be that there's a lot of drink in him because he barely seems to register it. So, okay, right. So he's going to do a punch back. Slugs on 4. Another blow. This time a left hook to the going for that glass chin again.
Nothing I can do.
No, it's on a new round, so you can. Oh no, you did all that attack, didn't you? So
Yeah.
Okay, so it's D5 minus 2 plus 1. Oh no, sorry, David. So he does that. It's a great blow on your glass chin. So it does 3. Okay, so it's what do we say? D5 minus 2. So it does total up 6 wounds.
Fucking hell.
That's minus
Um,
your
Whoosh.
toughness. Are you wearing any armor on the helm at the minute, or?
According to
no.
this, I am wearing 2 primitive armor on my head, but I can't think what it is.
Is that not the pot helm?
Yeah, I should have lost that, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
So I'll get rid of that.
I'll
Yeah, so
break
it's just
that.
my toughness
Okay, so-
bonus of 2.
So 3 wounds then, please, and a strike to your face. It really kind of gets the adrenaline rushing, and you're not happy with the situation. Someone's laid hands upon you.
Okay.
So next up, then it is Arnie. Arnie, you see your friend take a nasty blow to the chin, and you eye up both combatants, and you think that Slug has the edge in combat over Quintius.
I'm gonna, for my go, I'm gonna get in front of Quintius, stare at him, and say, "Fuck off."
What are you saying to Quintius?
No,
Or to Slug, you mean?
to Slug. I'm gonna try to intimidate him.
Oh.
Get back before I break you in 2. That sort of thing.
So, despite the fact that he's pumped up because of the combat, he's in the middle of a fight, so his adrenaline is flowing, and he's also
Good.
quite drunk. I'd still like you to make your intimidation test and see if you can get through to him.
Okay. Let's see. Intimidate 52. Submit. Oh, I'm gonna try and re-roll that with fate point.
Okay.
I want to succeed. Yes.
Okay, so you stand in front of Slug, and you are a massive, heavy-set, combatant, and you get the impression that Slug was looking for sort of an easy foe. And when he eyes you up and down, and he sees you stood in front of Quintius, some of the fight seems to go out of him, and he realizes that it's not in his interest to take on both of you. So he doesn't quite back down completely. He says to you, he says, he called me a fucking lollygagger or something.
That's not the compliments where I come from, you lucky man.
I called you a Columbus.
Did he have it coming to him? He's got it coming to him, that one.
Oh, please, my good man. I accidentally spilled your drink and even had the good grace to replace it. The least you could do was smile, offer a hearty, no hard feelings, that sort of thing. But no, you had to go and make a big fuss about it, didn't you?
Anyway, what's your name? Slag. Me and this man here are going to leave. I suggest you don't follow us or provoke me anymore, because I'm starting to look like your face.
Okay, so Slug, he takes a step back or two, and he eyes Quinty and says, yeah, you get what's coming to you.
That's it, you. You go back to whatever you were doing. And I'm saying this while being firmly behind Arnold and just gesturing round his shoulder.
I'm going to turn around and grab Quintus and walk away. To stop baiting the man.
You see a couple of Slug's drinking partners have stood up as well, but they don't seem any keener to engage in a fight with you either. So Slug goes back to his table and starts drinking again, and he doesn't press issue with you, Arnold.
Oh, great.
Well, he was bloody lucky you stepped in when you did then, Arnold, or I'd have had him, I'll tell you.
I'm sure I did. How's that jar of yours?
Yes, it smarts a bit. Is it bruised?
You do start to see a bruise.
I'm going to pass him, have a swag of mine. I'll pass him a bit of my drink.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, so anyone who's drinking of the spirit, I'd like you to make a toughness test, please.
I'll have
That's, plus 40.
Pass you for half to Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, I will have a good glug of it to numb the pain. Is this plus 30, I assume?
Yeah, plus 30 as standard.
Ooh, that's rather tasty.
Yeah, no fact.
Okay, so you're all holding your drink from what I can see. Are you drinking, Jan? Okay, can I have a roll from you, please? So it doesn't taste too much of anything. The spirit, it's not really very harsh. it goes down fairly easily, but it doesn't seem to have too much flavour. It's just clear. It's quite high alcohol content. But yeah, it feels good. You feel the warming effect of the alcohol coursing through your veins, but you're not quite sure what it's made of. It doesn't. There's not really any clues there as to what it might be made from. This booze.
Can I analyze it?
You can.
It's made from cat monkey.
Everything.
Suspect everything.
So Rastin takes you over to a table. Well, I say a table. It's just a pile of boxes. And he boots out a couple of guys who are sat there. And he goes, "Oh, you've had enough, Adam. Fuck off." And he sits down on this table and makes some space for you guys as well, and beckons you to join down and join him in a drink.
You seem to have quite a bit of authority around here, Mr. Rastin.
Oh no, I won't say that. But these guys know they've got sense.
Yes. Well, not all of them, it seems. I'm just going to rub my jaw.
So right, so you wanted to do an analysis of the booze, Alexa?
Yeah.
You want to make a test, a tech use test, please. A straight tech use.
Not a clue.
Okay, you're not quite sure.
Point.
Okay, you're not quite sure what I mean, you're getting residuals of hydrocarbon, but you're not quite sure what the booze is made of.
It could literally be rocket fuel for all we
Rastin sits you down and he raises a drink.
I'm checking out where did
Because you want to do a soothsaying, do you? Okay, so you put the bowl in front of you, have a drink, and you bring out the toy as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna rub the toy between my fingers, man.
Okay. So it's time to do a soothsaying. So I believe this is a fellowship roll, isn't it?
Yes.
As you beseech the
Chaos gods.
beseech the spirits. Chaos gods.
You're scaling by 1 degree.
Yeah. Seize the chaos gods.
I'm gonna obviously fake point them. Don't fail me. Even worse, can they get nothing for this cat?
You think it must be the environment that you're in, Yarn. Normally, when you're doing a soothsaying, you're in like peaceful, your own chambers. You go into like sort of a meditative state, and you prefer it when you're alone and it's just you and the spirit world. So trying to do it in this bar with all these other people, it's just too much distraction, and yeah, and you don't manage to do the soothsaying at this time. But it's not to say that you can't do it in the future. Rastin, he raises his drink. He sees, he looks around and he sees Alexa drinking out of a helmet. He sees Jan drinking out of a cat bowl. But he doesn't say anything. He says, "Your health, my new friends."
Is Jan doing this?
Jan's lapping it. It's just levitating the liquid out of the bowl into his mouth. And he's
Find a cat monkey, you've got to think like a cat monkey.
Yes.
That's how it is.
So,
become the cat monkey.
So, Mr. Raston, I heard whispers earlier of something of a
This is how we do it back on Dusk, man.
a black market.
He goes, "Oh yeah, here's the place to come if you want to make a few purchases and don't want to involve the old quartermaster. Most of us do not want to involve the quartermaster. He's not to be trusted, that cunt."
Yes, we learned that on the hard way ourselves, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Yeah, he'll get what's coming to him. That fucker.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and he looks around and he says, "There's normally about 2 or 3 people who, if you like the official face of the market." He looks around and he sees in the corner there's a gentleman. who's dressed in Arbite armor. And he goes, that one over there, Yuki. I think he's, do you know him? He's an acolyte, bit like yourselves. Got defrosted a couple of years ago, as far as I'm aware.
No, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of making his acquaintance.
Yeah, and you've not seen him. He's not part of Varek's, either of Varek's cells. And he goes, yeah, Yuki Gleeflesh. Bit of a cunt, but yeah, he knows his business. He seems certain sort of people always seem to gravitate towards this sort of role, don't they? But yeah, he's a person to speak to if you want to do some trading. But for now, why don't you tell me about your adventures on the planet? What's it like down there? I heard rumor has it it's full of mutants.
Yes, there is quite a high proportion of mutants, as a matter of fact.
Honestly, there are more mutants than there are people with normalities, to be honest. He's been shagging a woman with black eyes.
And Quintius, having had a little drink, is just going to go, not just a woman with black eyes, I'll have you know.
Yeah, the Inquisitor, he lets you have liaisons with mutants, does he, down on the planet? I thought that would be forbidden, wouldn't it?
All for the cause, my good man, all for the cause, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Intel gathering, gain their trust, that sort of thing.
Forbidden fruit, more like.
There are.
Is that right?
And I'm just gonna let you know, like, I'll be sure to read the report. I'm sure they would love to know about that.
I'm sure he probably wouldn't be too interested
And then
in
you're gonna hear a bit of binary going on, and then it's gonna be like, that's logged. Okay, and then just go back to drinking out the helmet.
Well, as agents of the Golden Throne, I'm sure you understand that from time to time we have to go above and beyond the call of duty, put ourselves in positions of great risk for the cause. It's a purely selfless act, I can assure you.
For the cause.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a selfless act or two myself, now that you mention it.
Well, you should perhaps come down with us next time. I'm sure it could be
There's
arranged.
one with an arm for tentacles. An arm for tentacles.
I mean, to be fair, the tentacles is a
Curved
step
arm.
far. I definitely wouldn't have gone near her tentacles, no. And I would prefer if she didn't go near mine.
So what are you guys doing down there on the planet?
Well,
She could suck you off with a tentacle arm.
Arnold.
and his back to the table drunk, making puns from the Proziels.
I'm not sure we can go into too much detail, Ras, and operational confidentiality and all that. But we have basically been casing the joint, I suppose you could say. Yes.
Yeah, we went fishing as well.
We did go fishing.
Yes, we found a little Sally on an island. Beautiful.
Is it fishing? Is it fishing? You're hunting a crocodile?
Been ages since I've had a nice piece of fish. Yeah, I can't remember the last time. Nothing but this fucking gruel up here.
Oh, really? I thought this was just a one-off, like a special. You've just got back from a mission, have some nutritious sustenance. Are you telling me there's no? Are you telling me there's no rash or soup available on this ship?
You what? Rash or soup?
Well,
What's
yes,
that like?
it's a wonderful, spicy, super delicacy back on Scintilla. A great many of the nobility are very fond of it.
Okay, this guy does like you quite a lot. If you have previously charmed him, but these comments about the nobility eating rash or soup seems to put him off for a moment. And he goes, "Well, I don't know about no rash or soup, but yeah, there's not much to choose from food up here. I mean, you guys have had like a kind of a meat stew." And some bread and hydrogenated fat when you first was defrosted. So there must be some other quality food up here because you've already had some. But whether that filters down to the likes of the stormtroopers and what have you, or whether that's standard for acolytes, you don't know.
I'll tell you what, stormtrooper. We could do a deal maybe. You find me a tankard, and I'll get you a good meal from upstairs.
Oh yeah, you get good proper food, do you, acolytes? Oh yeah, I heard about that. I had a room where they even had bread on board.
I'm not lying about it, but I can't deny another after tasting that shit. I'd rather eat. Well, to be honest, I'd love to eat raw fish again, but
I mean-
I'm not eating the fish in those waters. They've got 9 eyes.
Couldn't you get some food from down on the surface and smuggle it up?
It's all mutant food. Even the dogs.
Mutant dogs.
I
That's
believe-
unnatural, and you see he makes a sign of the Aquila.
Yes, don't worry, however. We killed every single mutant dog we encountered. I actually speared one that could jump from place to place without passing in the spaces in between. It was quite a kill, I can assure you.
He seems
Dogs
impressed by what you say, Quintius.
Yeah. I slaughtered something which had tentacles and was supposed to be a dog. It was not a dog, but something else.
What, some kind of bad dog, you mean?
It's ugly
Really
enough, yes.
Terrible dog. Like
The worst.
It was tough. I had to splat it with my pat my hilt of my sword on my back. I had to splat it with this.
He goes, "Oh yeah, gives a luck of that great sword there. That looks a bit of a beauty."
I'll take it out nice and carefully. Pass it to us. Be careful with it. It's the Terminator.
Okay, and he puts his drink down, and you see that he is slurring a little bit. The drink seems to have affected him perhaps a bit more than it has affected you guys. And he takes a sword, and again it sags in his arms a little bit. He's probably not prepared for the weight, but he starts to look at it in detail, and he seems impressed.
Cool. Excellent.
He goes, "Yeah, that's a real beauty. I killed many men with this."
Yes, I have both men, mutant, and beast.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of this
My
one.
home planet on well, no, I didn't. I bought the great sword.
He doesn't need to know that, though, does he?
Yeah. It was just gifted for me through my family in Fenris.
Fenris, eh? Can't say I've heard of it.
Do you even want to go there? It's just all water and ice and fish, which you would be actually
Well,
happy
I like
about,
fish,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah. You'd like the fish aspect, but if you fell in the water, you'd die because it's so cold.
All right. Death by water, eh?
By water.
You'd have to be incredibly unlucky or stupid to die in water, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you can swim, you'd be all right, wouldn't you?
Yes, and as long as you weren't weighted down by lots of valuable, expensive, and weighty equipment, that would be preposterous.
He seems to consider that for a moment.
We went croc hunting as well.
Let's get a blurted binary. Right, go on.
Rastin turns his head slightly as the binary kind of seems to give him a bit of a headache. He goes, "What's a croc?"
It's the big scaly reptile. It's got massive mouth, like as long as my arms are flapping, and a big tail. Huge.
Could swallow a man in 2 bites with ease, I would suspect.
Yes.
Do you reckon there's any good eating on them crocs? Eh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's good eating on a croc.
Yes.
Alexa shot it in the eye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she shot
Not
it
with
in the
that
water.
harpoon cannon, I hope.
No, with last pistol.
All right. Okay.
Underwater, I might add.
Oh, very good. I
Yeah.
see you're a bit of an underwater combat specialist then.
She is now.
Just nod your head, Alexa.
I'm just going to take the finger out of the thing. The little tube's going to retract it, and I'm just going to turn it around like that, and then like that. And then just go, and then go like that.
Oh, come now, Alexa. At least you survived to tell the tale. You did well. You killed the beast. Or did Alexa kill it?
Yeah.
She killed one of the crocs, but the croc which kind of there was a croc which she shot in the face and on one eye. That's still out there. It seems to bear a grudge against Alexa.
Remember, we've had the belt attacked once by a one eye.
So she killed one of the crocs, but there was 2 of them, and one of them.
One eye's mate.
Yeah. One eye still seeks vengeance upon you.
How dare you kill my mate? I tell you another thing. They do a good stew down there. Seems you like food, like what's a goulash or something. It was just
A goulash.
potatoes, onions, other fried veggies, peppers, little bits of meat here and there. Don't know what the meat was mixed, but you know you can't trust any takeaway, can you?
Yeah, you do us a bit of a favour. Why don't you smuggle us a bit of food up from that planet, and we'll make it worth your while.
Yes, I'm sure we can bring you back a few bits and pieces if we get
See if I
chance.
can get you you say you like fish, do you? I'll try and get you some crocodile or fish. They're both in the water. You might like both.
Don't think I've had fish in 15 years.
Haven't you?
No.
Oh well. I'll see what I could do. Considering we get sent back down, I think we will. Have you the other acolytes seems to be doing very well. I don't know if they'll get sent there instead of us.
Oh yeah. You guys are newly defrosted, aren't you? You've not been out of the tank long. This is your first campaign, isn't it?
Yes. First time here. Yes.
Yeah. So my second campaign out in the Expanse.
Yeah, have you been down to? You say you haven't been down to this planet. Have you been down to other planets?
No, I've been to a few planets. They've sometimes send us out on escort duty, but sometimes the Inquisitor and his men do trade missions on various planets. He works a bit like a rogue trader. He goes from planet to planet, selling, trading commodities, trying to make a profit and keep the ship ticking over. You see everything turns to shit out here in the miasma. All the equipment starts to rot and degrade, and the food stuff, it just needs constant feeding a crew of this size. There's a cost to running the ship, and the Inquisitor, he tries to keep it ticking over with trade.
I see.
So do you think there's a trade for us to bring hot meals up for you all?
Well, I mean, I think if you can get food up here, we'll make it worth your while. I mean, you don't need to tell anyone else about it. It'll just be our little
between me and you, we'll not
Deals
talk
on
about
wheels,
it.
like guy.
Yeah, you want to bring some food stuff up? Well, I'll make it worth your while. Thrones. What's that? Sorry, say that again, Hen.
I'll be your fish supplier.
He seems happy with the situation, and there's like a longful looking in his eyes, and you realise this is a man who's eaten nothing but gruel paste for perhaps the last decade or something. So, right. So,
what you're talking. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
The other worlds, Raston. The other worlds you visited out here, are they as corrupted as this one?
He says, no, I mean, some of them are strange, like alien-like, but this is the closest we've ever come to the miasma before. We keep getting closer every time. That's what I hear. This is the closest that we've been, I think.
Oh, how very fortunate for us.
Yeah.
Raston.
Raston, yeah. What's that, mate?
I've got something for you.
Oh yeah, what you got?
How much would it give me 4 units of dog meat?
Okay, you've got some 4 tins of dog. Oh, is it not actually dog meat, isn't it? It's actually dog meat.
It's actually dog meat.
Okay, so you pull out, and it's actually so these 4 units is actually quite a significant amount. So it's actually, I think it is perhaps 4 dogs worth of meat, isn't it? So it's not an insignificant amount. It's many kilograms of meat, and he sees that and he goes,
"This is where all the storms come down with space shit in the middle of an employment. This is what's going to happen. I can see it now."
And he looks it over, and he looks it over, and he goes, "Yeah, this is worth some money." And he says, "Offer you 40 thrones for it."
That'll do.
Well,
you take that. Thank you.
Actually, trade. Sorry, go on. You going to say something, Quintius?
Now I think about it, Mr. Aston, and I'm just going to rummage in my pack, and I've got, and I don't know how many it is. It just says tins of food and dog food.
Oh, so this is you got this from the farmstead.
Yeah.
So
leave my
Hayden, you
dog meat.
train 4 units of you're trading
Leave
roughly.
it.
It's roughly say 20 kilograms of dog meat for 40 rounds.
Walking around with it in my backpack, you know.
It's still relatively fresh. I don't know if you maybe Gumbo salted it for you or something just to stop it from going off too quick. And you've got survival skills yourself, so you probably
Yeah, I would have salted.
yeah, you probably did something with it too.
Remember, I'm come from a fishing nation. I would have salted
40
everything.
rounds. And you bring out some tins, so roll a d6 and add 3.
Okie dokie. Six.
Okay, so he looks them over. Some of them appear to be like dog meat, but this is still probably a high value trade item on the ship because meat is a scarcity.
Mhm.
And there's also some tinned fruit and vegetables. And he goes, 6 tins. He goes, yeah, I'll trade you 25 thrones for this.
Absolutely, my good man. Here. A pleasure doing business with you.
I'm going to turn and look at Quintius and say, don't you owe me that?
I actually had considered that, Arnold. I just didn't want to make a big deal of it in front of our new friend.
No worries. But you still do.
A Thespis always pays his debts, Arnold. A Thespis always pays his debts.
Anyway,
In fact,
enough.
I owe you more than that. But yeah,
I know.
I've got it all written down.
Okay, so you make a couple of trades with Raston, and he seems quite happy with the arrangement. He gets another round of drinks in for you. Again, he puts it on his tab. And Jaffers, what is his name? Jaffers. Makes a note of the round of drinks in his book, and he brings forward another round of drinks for everyone apart from Quintius, who hasn't yet got a drinking receptacle.
At this point, does Raston go to the bar, or did
Yeah,
you
he
say?
does. Yeah, he goes to the bar to get the drink.
As he goes to the bar,
He takes the various drinking implements with him.
while he's at the bar, I'm going to turn to my companions, and I'm just going to reach in my pocket and pull out the small bag with the 2 gems in. And I'm going to pop them out into my hand, keeping them a bit hidden from the crowd, and just say to everyone, so what do you think? Do you think there's a chance we could perhaps sell these over at the gentleman in the corner there? The man whose name I've written, even though I can't read my own handwriting.
His name is Yuki Gleeflesh.
Yuki, that's it.
Yuki.
This Yuki fellow?
Seems to me like we could sell anything we want.
Perhaps we should see what he offers us for it. I was made a rather significant offer for one of these stones back down on the planet. Maybe we should see which the better offer is first.
You sound like you've got your head screwed on Quintius.
I know my way around money, my good man. Don't you worry about that.
Okay, so Rastin returns with 4 improvised drinking items, including his own, and he's got his own mug as well. So he hands the bowl back to Yarn, and the flak helmet back to Alexa.
Yeah, I'm going to try and. No, I'm not. Right. Well, if you'll excuse me a moment, I'm just going to go and have a quick word with this Yuki fellow. I'll be right back.
He goes, well, you're right. I'll bring him over and make an introduction to you if you like.
Oh,
he's a bit funny, is Yuki. To be honest, he puts my back up quite a bit.
Does he? Do you want to enjoy this drink a bit more before go over and speak to them? And you might as well enjoy your drink before you put your back up for us. Think of all the meat and fruits and veg you're going to have.
Well, I say he doesn't even wait. He gets a tin opener. He's got like a multi-tool, and he opens up one of the tins, and it appears to be like a tin of fruit pieces and syrup, and he immediately starts scranning it down. He doesn't offer any to the rest of you. He just eats all the fruit pieces, and then he drinks all the syrup. and then he pulls some of his spirit, puts it in the tin, washes it round, and gets every last little bit of syrup out of the tin and drinks it all. And he seems he goes quiet, and he seems happy and content with his tin of peaches or whatever it is.
So, Reston, this Yuki fellow,
Your
what
turn.
is he? Why don't you like him? Is he a bit of a fuss budget, a gasser, a gentleman of 4 oats?
Yeah, that's what everyone says. A gentleman of 4 oats. Yeah, that's exactly how I'd describe him. Well,
yeah.
normally we call him a bit of a camp.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, I suppose.
Hey, Rasta. You know that tin you've got? When you're finished with it, can we have it as a drinking vessel for him? He hasn't got anything.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, a bit rude of me. I didn't notice. And he,
Oh, no. I knew he was enjoying it. I didn't want to interrupt your moment.
and he hands the tin to Quintius. You have to be a bit careful. There's a few like sharp edges where the top of the tin has come off. You have to be a bit careful drinking from it, but it would work.
Okay, I'm just going to amend my character sheet, removing the tins of food and add crude drinking tin. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to sort of sit looking at this crude tin for a moment with a bit of a, not really obvious, but a slight look of disgust on my face.
He's probably drinking through a dirty cat ball, man.
He's a fucking heathen shaman from Dusk.
Like sipping out of a helmet. I'm using a drinks decanter.
You do what I got to do to survive, lady man.
You just call me a lady, man.
Perfect.
Okay, so you have another drink with Rastan, and he starts to talk a bit more about the Inquisitor and the the rogue trading. He starts to talk a bit more about his campaign, his previous campaign, and he gets a bit as he gets a bit drunker, his tongue starts blowing a bit more and more. And he goes, I've not met the Inquisitor myself, but he's a strange fellow. Enigmatic, yeah, like makes some strange decisions. What on earth are we doing this far away from home? That's what I want to know. What could possibly bring a man out here with all this resource, so close to this warp rift? Up to no good, that's what I think.
Well, to be
Tell you
perfectly
that planet
honest,
is no good.
Rest, and I've been wondering the same thing myself. Originally, the 4 of us were in service to another Inquisitor, and then next thing you know, we were transferred into this Inquisitor Lucius's command and put to sleep, and woke up here. In fact, how long have we even been asleep? We've no idea how long we were in those frozen canister things.
Yeah, the popsicles. Yeah, I mean, takes about 3 years to get out this far into the expanse.
3 years?
Yeah, 3 years. You've probably been under about 3 years, I'd say. I've not seen you till just now. Some of them they defrosted, like old Yuki over there. Defrosted him about a year into the journey. The old Inquisitor, he tries to keep as much of the crew on ice as he can to reduce the amount of food he has to spend on people. You know, the more people on ice, the more of a skeleton crew he can run, the less resources the crew take up. I heard a rumor he sometimes puts people on ice indefinitely, and they never wake up again. They just stay there, frozen.
This is terrible. This is absolutely appalling. According to Scintillan law, anyone who has been missing for more than 2.5 years forfeits all their wealth and property. My apartment, my auto carriage, my glass steed. They'll all have been absorbed back into the Apex Prince's finances by now.
Oh shit, Quintus, that's bad news.
It is. That glass steed, I was having it cloned. I was going to start renting it out and racing it.
Yeah, that's a tragedy. Yeah, says Rastan. And he takes a drink. and you get the impression he's wants to say something but isn't.
Of what's a glass steed?
So, Raston, where are you from originally then?
I told you, didn't I? I told you from the planet Chapatata. You said you hadn't heard of it, had you?
And I still have
It's
not.
a perfectly good name, I tell you.
Forgive me, it must be this rather intoxicating spirit. It's going straight to my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's a agri world I come from originally. There's not much going on there. I think when most people join the guard, don't they, as a way out. See the world, they said.
Ha.
See the
I
stars.
got conscripted.
Yeah. Didn't have much choice in the matter.
You know.
Guard or farming? I suppose one may be safer, but the other one must be far more interesting, I would imagine.
I used to like fishing until I got dragged off home.
Oh yeah, who dragged you off home?
Slavers.
Yeah, and he spits.
When I was young.
Fucking slavers.
Oh well. You know, it's
Yes.
how it is.
Some things.
I'm here now. I'm enjoying life. It's all good, and I thank you very much for these drinks.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you very much for this treasure trove of food.
Well, we will trade again.
Me and the boys are going to be dining well. Can't wait to get this cooked up. Bit of barbecue dog.
Give them a point out to us if whatever deal's between you. But just it's up to you. You do what you want.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just keep this a little arrangement between ourselves, shall we?
Yeah.
I'll be sure to look you up after the next time you get back off planet. Assuming you do get back.
Of course we would. Why would we stay?
Well, I mean, I heard the last lot of Acolytes, they never came back.
We heard the same. We believe we may have seen them down on the planet.
Hanging by their necks.
Yes. They didn't look in a very good state, if you understand my meaning.
All right. Yeah, I can't imagine they would have. I mean, that'd have been at least 6 years ago.
Crikey. One other thing. When he says slavers and spits, Quintius is going to sort of, try and join in what he thinks must be a custom and spit, but it's quite obvious it's probably the first time he's ever spat in disgust before. It doesn't really. It's like
noble.
Can we have an agility test, please? At plus 30.
Agility test.
It's a fairly easy
30.
task. Plus 30. It's an easy task.
Yeah.
You spit yourself.
That didn't do anything. Oh, there we go.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and you do an accurate spit. You don't spit on anyone's shoe. You don't get it running down your chin. It goes roughly where you wanted it to go, and you feel a bit of camaraderie.
Yes, and, I definitely don't have a history of slavery. No, I don't say that out loud.
Yeah, slavers, scourge of the universe. In my mind, there's some bad slavers out here. There's them Xenos, the old the Dark Eldar. You ever heard of them before?
Oh, no, I haven't.
No. Well, it's fate worse than death to be captured by them. I tell you, fate worse than death. Better to die than to be captured by them.
So they're not the sort of good slavers then.
What kind of good? What? And he looks at you for a second, but then he brushes over and he goes, "Yeah, they attacked the ship on the journey here. You were lucky you were defrosted. You missed it all."
The ship was attacked.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get attacked from time to time. It's dangerous this far out in the expanse. Dangerous.
But this vessel is vast. It's bristling with weaponry. Surely nobody would be foolish enough to attack a Imperial warship.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret. I think there's saboteurs on board. You hear me? Saboteurs. See, the engines, they were shut down, weren't they? I don't think it was an accident. The engines were shut down. That's when the Eldar attacked. But how did they know? They must have been watching us. They boarded the ship, and it was terrible. Worst combat I've seen in all my time serving on board the board the ship.
What did they look like?
Yeah, all like Ponzi looking, didn't they? Poncy
What, like Quintius?
Now they look, it's difficult to describe, but they're slim, slender. They wear this strange alien armor. Where they took hundreds of slaves that day. I'm just glad I wasn't one of them.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So we lost.
Hmm?
So we lost.
Well, it was we didn't lose, or else we're still here to tell the tale, aren't we? But we certainly lost a lot of men that day, a lot of captives. The Inquisitor he vented half the ship to space, ported off a load of the Eldar, but also a load of our own crew. But
That
Collateral damage.
seems most desperate. Is this the sort of action the Inquisitor is known for?
well,
I
he
guess so.
does make some strange decisions, but in this case, I agree with him. I think I think we were lucky to drive the Eldar off when we did.
I don't fancy meeting those chaps.
And he takes a long, hard drink, and he seems like he's been saddened, thinking the topic saddened him.
I'm gonna drink my drink out of my little tin and go to your lost comrades, Mr. Raston.
And
I'll drink mine too. I'll say to all our lost comrades, to our lost lives as well.
Yeah.
To Mumsy.
Mum.
I'm not saying that out loud.
Okay, so you have your second round of drinks. So anyone who's drinking again, you make another toughness test, please. This time at plus 20.
Funny. Yeah, done it. Don't know if I passed. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Ah, no. Oh, only failed by 0.3.
Okay. All right.
You should probably fall off a chair.
No, I mean it's strong stuff. It's mostly alcohol. Doesn't taste too harsh, but it is very high alcohol content. So just start to affect you quite rapidly. So Quintius, you're all right. Well, okay, Arnold. The rest of you are okay, I think.
I've been hard
So
planetary experiences.
Rastin heads off and he goes and beckons over this Yuki, who comes and joins you at the table. And Rastin goes, "Yeah, Yuki, these are the guys I was telling about. Good lads, these are." And they said there's a tin of these delicious peaches for you. And he hands over one of the tins that you provided him. And he goes, "Yeah, they're looking to do a bit of trading off the books, as you know." And old Yuki, he taps his nose. And when you see him, he's got like a kind of weasel-like face. He's white-skinned, about 5'10". But yeah, there is a certain element of rattishness about his face. And he sits down and goes, "Newly defrosted, I hear."
Yes, that's right.
Okay. He goes, "Yeah, I've seen you around."
Is Raston
Acolytes.
still here as well?
Rastin's still there with you.
Okay.
And he goes,
I like your armor, by the way. Where do you get the suit of that from?
"Oh, I picked it up. I'll tell you, it's a perfectly good name. I'll tell you it right now. Yeah, I used to be enforcer before I joined the Inquisition.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so you came with it.
Yeah, I brought it with me. Like this is got this back in Dramar district, Scintilla."
Oh my goodness. Oh. Heard Scintilla mentioned before. This seems to be like a popular planet.
Scintilla, yeah.
I don't know much about the place,
it's
but
it's a capital planet, isn't it, of the collector sector? Don't tell me you
I
don't
hear
know
it has
that.
glass horses.
Actually, no. They're from Desilium, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
Mine was imported at great cost, I might add.
Sorry, I had my wires crossed. I don't know nothing about Scintilla.
Yeah, so Yuki pulls out a data slate. He goes, "So you're looking to do a bit of a trade, I hear?"
Yeah, what do you
probably-
trade in?
Well, all sorts in it. Yeah, you tell me what you're looking for, and I'll see if I can find it. We don't hold stock here in general, but we can get most things. Someone somewhere on the ship will likely have something that you're after. What is it you're after?
Do you buy as well as sell, Yuki?
I do indeed. That's the way this works. It's most of the ship runs on a barter system. Thrones are a bit rare. The quartermaster's a bit tight, handing out paychecks as well. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Another another item to add to his list of nefarious activities.
Yeah, so thrones are a bit in short supply. So thrones are valuable on this ship. But yeah, so we normally do a bit of trade. Barter is the order of the day.
Very well. Well,
do you take dog hide?
Dog hide. And he says, let's have a look. See,
Here you go, I've got 2 units.
And he says, almost everything has a bit of value. So yeah, I mean, you've not got as much dog hide as you got dog meat, in the sense that you
deleted dog meat now.
Okay. What I'm saying is that you must have botched a bit of the skinning, which is why you've only got 2 units compared to 4 units of dog meat. And he goes, hide. Hide always comes in use, doesn't it? It's always used for something like this.
There you go. If you can sell it.
Okay. He pulls out a data slate and he starts tapping into the data slate. He goes, we'll call this 35 thrones of barter.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And I'll add that to my increased list. 77 now. I sat on 2 today.
Well, actually, the money that Rastin gave me is real money. Yeah, so that's actually thrones. This for kind of 35 thrones is almost like credit in a sense.
Okay.
You don't actually have the physical thrones for this. You've got 40 thrones of actual currency, and this is
now.
Okay.
2 thrones left.
And this 35 thrones is kind of, if you like, credit in the market.
Did you ever tell us, or did anyone ever tell us that like an equivalent exchange rate of drachma to thrones?
No, you don't know. That information does exist, but you've never found that out. There was a bank on the planet, but I don't think any of you discussed that when you went down there.
No, that's all right. I'm going to pull out the little pouch once more and just place it on the table and push it across to him and say, "And what about this, my good man? Any interest in such a thing?"
So you're showing him both the stones, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he pulls them out and he looks at them, and Rastin, his eyes prick up at this as well, and he kind of like has a bit of a nosy, and you get the impression that Rastin is a bit of a nosy stormtrooper. And Yuki looks them over and goes, these look valuable. I don't know, might be difficult to shift though. And he hands them back over to you. Yeah, they look valuable to me. I'm no expert in precious stones, but they look valuable. I know that.
Simply wondered if you'd be interested. Already have 1 or 2 interested parties. Just thought I'd offer it to you as a companion aboard the Inquisitor's vessel in the same service as ours, of course.
Ah, indeed. This is I'm more of a middleman. I don't tend to I tend to set up exchanges with other people on board the ship. So like I say, I don't think pretty stones are much use to me, but there might be someone who'd be interested. I'll ask a few questions. You'll have to leave it with me.
Yeah, thank you very much. And what about this?
Okay.
Hang on, I
what
got
is this?
2 or 3. So I've got my sword stick cane, I've got the helix cane, I've got my original walking cane. Actually, no, I'm keeping that because I've decided I'm collecting walking sticks. I'm going to heft my auto gun and just put my auto gun on the table and say, "Any interest in second-hand weapons?"
Oh yeah, second-hand weapons always got a value, haven't they? See, the weapons that we get on board, they keep jamming, and sometimes they even turn to dust. So
And armor.
everything's turns to shit.
Armor too. Well, I'm in the market to rid myself of this, and I'm going to pull out 2 other clips that I've got and put them with it.
Okay, so let's have a look. So 1 auto gun and 2 clips.
3 clips in total, but one of them's only got 29 instead of 30 rounds. I only ever fired 1 round out of
You
it.
can just hand it over, and he might not even notice that.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got auto gun. And then we've got clips. Ammo. Would be Jesus. What they're called? Shells, a shotgun, shots. Solid
Bullets.
slug, bullets. Are they?
Yeah, solid slug, I suppose. No, not solid slug. Yeah, they'll just be bullets, won't they?
Okay. Cost 1, 20.
Shells for a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, for an auto gun, it's bullets. So he goes, I'll give you 75 thrones worth of trade for this.
Very well.
Okay, do you accept?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you've got 75 thrones worth of kind of barter trades. This isn't kind of raw currency, but it's trade purely for the black market. So Hayden's got 35 credits.
Yeah,
Thrones of
I've
credit, and you've now got 75 thrones.
on my
credit.
inventory. I've deleted my dog hides and put plus 35 black market creds. So I'm
Okay.
keeping.
Perfect. Thank you, Hayden.
tally.
So you've traded your dog meat and dog hide, traded an
I would
auto gun
also
and
like
some
to
bullets.
trade him I've got 2 knives, so I'd like to say how much for a knife.
I would have thought we'd be
Really.
dealing in dog.
We've got,
Who would have predicted that?
well, it's all about food, and I thought I'd look through my inventory, and I saw dog meat, 4 units down there. I was like, well, there we go.
Honestly, you've
This
made
guy's
this.
hungry.
You've made his day.
Yeah.
You've made his day. You really have.
You know, talk about food tours, and I was just like, hang on a second, I've been collecting food and hides.
Hey, so a knife. Is this a standard knife, or is it one of those
Mhm.
mono? Is it one of those mono knives that you got,
Keep
or
my
is it
mono knife. I've got it's a standard knife
a standard knife? Okay, so he
with a
shapes it
little
up.
carved, because I carved it on, because I've had this knife for my life. I've carved the handle a little bit in a Fenrisian pattern.
He goes, well, knives are 10 a penny, aren't they? I could give you, I don't know. Well, it's got a nice carving on it. I'll give you 5 thrones as a bit of charity,
Well,
he says.
that'll do. I like a bit of charity.
Okay, so
I like
knife.
a bit of charity.
Okay, so that's another 5 thrones worth of black market
Yeah,
cred, okay?
I've done it. I'm on 340 creds now. 40 now.
So 340 creds, where's that?
No,
Oh,
40.
okay.
It's just I typed it and I thought I'd said it.
thought
And
that's-
I was delete the 5 to the 4, and
Okay.
then I didn't get to delete the 3. So.
So is there anyone else
Oh.
wanting to flog anything for black market credit or wanting to purchase something?
How much for oh, God? Can you get any special shotgun ammo? I want some specialist shotgun ammo if you can get me some.
Oh yeah, we can get that. That'd be fairly easy for me to get. You leave it with me. Come back and see me tomorrow, he says.
Alright, I should think so. Seems you're an arbite. You like shotguns, don't you, boys?
I certainly do. And he pulls out a shotgun. He just so happens to have in his backpack. He says, I call this one Scarlet.
Please
She's a
can I have
real
a look
beauty.
at this? Please can I have a look? You can have a look at my greatsword if you want. And I'll
He says,
pull out
no one touches Scarlet but me.
Alright.
I don't want to look at your sword. No.
I'm sure you
I don't like
do.
to touch another man's sword.
True that. Oh well. Anyway, back to the ammo. What can you get? Stop
He says,
talking
leave
about
it
my
with me.
sword.
I'll ask a few questions. Come and see me tomorrow. I'll see what I can find for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Yuki, my dear boy, I'm in the market for some sort of protection for my head, and obviously I have no idea how much that is going to cost me. But also I'm in the market for, and I'm going to draw Mumsy, place it on the table, and say, I've discovered recently the wonders of a certain type of ammunition known as man-stopper. I was wondering if you could perhaps acquire me some more of these.
Oh, I would like some for them as well. And quite for me, please. Sorry, I just jump in there. But
It's fine. You're all together. There's nothing to stop you from jumping in. He goes, "Yeah, I know it shan't be a problem. We make our own on board the ship. I'll ask around. Come back again tomorrow. Man-stopper rounds isn't shotgun shells.
And
Not a problem."
if possible, I would like to inquire about purchasing a helmet, but I may spend what I have on ammunition.
Like a flak helm, do you want?
Yes, something like that. Yes, for combat situations, you understand.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. What?
Oh, and excuse me a moment, my good man. While I remember, gentlemen, and I'm going to hand Jan and Arnie 10 thrones each. I owe them both 75 thrones.
Okay, I'll change that on my character sheet now, Dave. It's
So,
in.
10 thrones to Hayden, and who was the other one? So who?
Jan as well. And say the first of my payments in exchange for your financial assistance down on the planet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and Yuki says to you, Quintius says, going rate on the flak helms, about 25 thrones.
No, that's not so bad. Yes.
Yeah,
Very well.
yeah. Okay, so is there any shopping or any orders anyone else wants to put in?
I can't think of anything else I need. I've got a shotgun, I've got a pistol, I've got a big fucking sword, I've got flak armor.
You're pretty well equipped, but
you know, apart from photo visors and stuff like that, that's it. I can't do photo visors. How much?
He says, well, they're a bit harder to come by, but yeah, you can get them on board the ship. Get just about anything, anything you set your mind to it.
Sure you can, but I need a price, so I can set my mind to earning what I need.
Okay, he starts looking onto his data sled, and he pauses a while he looks at a spreadsheet on his data slate, and there's a pause.
A significant pause.
A significant pause. So what are we looking for? Photo goggles, not photo goggles. Photo contacts, yeah.
Or photo contacts will do.
And he looks up from the spreadsheet and goes, "Yeah, I mean it might be hard to get, but I reckon I can get them 100 thrones, I would think."
All right, I'll start working for it, but hold off for a while. I'll give you go ahead when I've got 100 thrones. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries.
Save you do the legwork and buying anything you don't need to. I'll get the money first.
He nods his head in agreement.
I mean, Quintius has got a shopping list as long as your arm, but I'm not going to get any of it for 75 thrones, so there's no point.
Okay, so we still need to get some. We need to get some more cash, and not splurge it all on hookers. And
if you keep putting hypnotic, black-eyed, mutant freak woman in front of me, I'm going to keep fucking them. Simple as that.
How much for my good quality javelin?
you could pull that out. Good javelin. Where the fuck did you get this?
What did Alex make it?
I'm trying to think where. Actually, I think you bought it from the shop. There's a weapon shop, and it's.
I got a downside on planet.
Just give us a moment. Here you goes. Well, it's good quality. I'll give you that, but we don't get much call for javelins up here on the ship, do we?
And I'll say, do you want to see it in front action? It's amazing. I'm going to try to chuck it into the wall.
You're going to chuck it at the wall, okay. I mean, it's quite
it's
quite a busy, packed bar that you're in.
I wonder how many people I can skew on the way to the wall.
Quintius slides down under the table.
No, I won't do it. I won't do it. I was just going, it doesn't matter. I'll have my own use for this. But I was just trying to make some thrones. Photo visors quite important to me.
Yeah, and he says, I think I'd only maybe be able to give you 10 thrones or something for that. Charity, mate, charity.
Oh, no, I don't need charity. I just need results, and that's not the results.
Okay. So
Thank
is anyone
Very
else
much.
wanting to sell anything to the black market or make any inquiries for any purchases from the black market?
We've got two hobbyists, which are busy.
No, I don't think so, mate. I don't think I've got anything to buy.
No,
I had a lovely ring to sell, but alas,
But you already sold it
I didn't sell it. I traded it for
goods and services.
favors.
the engines. Say something about the engines being powered down. Whereabouts is the engine?
Yeah, engineering's at the back of the ship, and you just so happens to have a section of like a picture of the ship up in front of us. So if you can see on roll 20, the engineering is number 6. It's right at the back of the ship where I'm pinging now, and the engines are just below and behind that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always engineering. I think. See if I can offer any assist because obviously the ship's stranded in this.
The engines are working fine now. You can feel the engines running through the ship. But what he said was before the Dark Eldar attacked, the engines were sabotaged, or at least he's presuming it's sabotage. They failed anyway, and this meant the ship was listing and was more vulnerable to attack by the Dark Eldar raiding vessels. So now the engines are back up running perfectly. But yeah, there's still nothing to stop you going to engineering. There's always almost certainly work for you on a ship this large. Like skilled tech users are always in high demand. You've found. Okay, so if we've got nothing else to do with Yuki Gleeflesh, he says, "Well, pleasure meeting you guys." And then
You too, Yuki. See you
Sounds
tomorrow.
like rolling rat.
Okay.
Yuki's.
As he walks away, Yarn, you feel, especially I say Yarn, you feel a lot better now that he's left.
30.
Okay, so we're just going to have a quick break now. I'm going to go for a slash and get a drink, and then you can decide what you'd like to do next. Or whether we just
that'd be why Dude doesn't like him as well. I wonder if he's a pro. Can I make a Cynesians check?
He's gone.
Oh, I don't know.
So, obviously, it's still fairly early in the day. Do you want to start looking for this cat, or do you all want to do other shit?
I wouldn't mind organising to get my greatsword mono edged, at least.
Because I've got the
I'm a javelin if I can.
I've got the key here for the map of the ship, and there is a technical workshop, a research lab. And there's that's what I was thinking. If you wanted to do shit like that, there's also a fabrication facility.
I was going to ask Alexa, and because Alexa keeps becking me in, I was going to be slightly flirty with her to try and get my weapon forged from her. You can't hear this, Alexa. This is what's just in my hardest mind. But Arnie might do you, Alexa. He just might. Gonna give you a weird and character sex scene like Dave gave me.
If you're going to try and do mono edge on Hayden's weapons, I might give you the sword stick cane as well. If you've got the time, but prioritize Hayden's because he is the melee.
I don't know if I've got the right skill set for it. I've got trade armor. I've got trade smith.
Trade armor is what you need for modifying weapons.
Oh yeah, I'll be all right.
Admittedly,
With the
my ballistic. Sorry, Johnny.
Do that.
I know your ballistic skills the better stat, Hayden, but you've got the strength, whereas I haven't.
Yeah, I can. I've got
my
plus
sword
5.
is literally a backup weapon. My primary weapon is the pistol.
I've got trouble if I punch an unarmed opponent with my bare fists. I could probably take the head off.
But
if roll a 5 and they're 7 guy like a mutant, oh my goodness.
What I'm going to do, and I might not get away with this because it's the Inquisition, but I'm going to, if we do head off at separate ways, I'm going to go to the library and I'm going to look up Dark Eldar. I'm going to start learning about those fuckers. So it's up to you guys.
You might not learn about Dave.
I might not.
It's probably going to be quite unpleasant. Any footage there isn't, or any records.
Yeah. But I don't know that.
I would like to see if Alexa's willing to try and put me a mono edge and some training on a smithing.
Yeah.
On my great sword after
Okay.
this.
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Yeah, so you've got some free
Yeah,
time, so this
if
is
you-
ideal time for sort of stuff
Nice,
like crafting and.
It's
Yeah.
not primitive. If you could do that for me, Alexa, while you do that, I will help search for the cat. We'll give
Okay.
you a plethora of weapons to upgrade.
Uh-huh.
We'll keep your comms ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, so Rastin makes his excuses. Says, "Well, yeah, I'm going to get some of this veritable treasure
Sweet.
trove dealt out. Yeah, we're going to have a bit of a barbecue, aren't we?
I don't
Me and the
blame you.
boys. Hey, it's going to be a grand old day.
I'd be hungry if I just drank as much as you did, Rastin.
Yeah, damn straight. Yeah, you guys come and see me next time you're up from the planet, and keep your eye out for anything
Fish.
tasty down there.
We'll put it
Yeah.
on our list.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, been a pleasure,
Well,
guys.
thanks, Rastin. And I'm going to stand up and just bear hug him in a friendly way, as a big man hug.
Okay, he's like he's a military man himself, and yeah, and he's quite quite drunk as well, and he reciprocates the big man hug, and yeah, and he says, "Yeah, you're a good man to know. Handy in a fight, you are. You didn't even need to raise your fist, did you? That slug, he backed right down. Fucking hate slug."
He didn't want his arm open up and put it up his ass, did he?
I have full confidence that Arnold here could beat a man to death with his own arm.
Yeah, I think you're
I
right
think
there,
good.
Quintius. Oh no, sorry. What name did you give him? You didn't give him Quintius, did you? You gave him.
I gave him my standard.
what
is it?
You've given me it before. I'm trying to think what you call him.
Not
Patrick.
Jeffrey.
Patrick
Yeah,
Dunson.
yeah, Patrick. Sorry, yeah, Patrick. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sticking to Patrick Dunson after the last time I tried to use multiple false names.
I did backfire. I
I
quite
like
enjoyed
Dominic Peters, who resides in his closet. Is that a thing to the?
He lives
Cloak
in.
room?
He's got like a bunker in the which is where the armory storeroom is. He's got like a
I don't know,
bunker.
but for some reason, I relate his name to a television presenter. What used to like
Andy Peters, you mean? Like
yeah, but like resides himself into a closet.
he does sound like a CBeebies presenter, doesn't he?
Has he got a glove pocket?
Everybody in the closet, didn't there?
Right. So you finish up in the Crow. You're done there. You've done your trading. You've had a few drinks. It's around 2:00 in the afternoon. Oh dear, empty bottle. Oh no.
Nope. Don't worry.
Got the backup whiskey. Ah.
Wait.
And what about the backup whiskey?
Yeah, I'm on that. I've got 3 bottles of Jack Daniels.
Okay, very good. So what would you guys like to do next? You've got access to the whole ship.
Well, can I talk this in character conversation?
Yeah,
with
of course.
Alexa?
You can.
Hello, Alexa. Alexa, you sweet, gorgeous mechanical woman, you.
I am calculating you want something. What can I help you?
Would you be able to mono edge my sword? It would help us 100% in battle, make us more efficient and better operational machine.
Hand it over. And then I'm going to basically hand him the harpoon. Can't carry bows.
I'll hold the harpoon cannon for you. Don't worry, I can carry this in a bit more.
I'm going to swap it over, and I'm going to look at it. Turn it in the hand. That says where of it. Yeah, I could do that.
Oh, thank you very much. That is so nice of you. Hey, Alexa. You fancy going for a drink, me and you, sometime?
I'm just going to look him up and down, and then just sort of do a quick scan of the crotchal region, and then calculate the length.
Yeah, it's massive.
And just see if
It's really thick.
See if it's
It's
just
like
if
as thick as your head.
if it's
It's
worth-
like as thick
worth
as like
going
that. It's
You know what I mean?
terrible. It's the Punisher.
it's like
Nobody
a
wants it.
yeah, they call it.
That's why Andy don't get much sex. His knob's far too wide.
Okay.
And
See if there's anything else that bulge is actually genuine bulge. Checking out heat sinks and things like that. See if I can see, like, and then after I've done my calculations, I'm like, yes, that would be most agreeable. And I'm just going to turn and head towards the Ambry, wherever it is.
Alexa,
Yeah.
Alexa, my dear, before you go, I realize in the past we've had our differences. However, I would like to draw a line under that. Start again now. We're back on the ship. And as a token of my my attempt
And
at friendship with you.
As he's waffling, I'm just put my hand out, go, hold it out, because I know that he wants something.
I'm just going to pass him the sword stick cane.
And then I'm going to take the sword again, turn and go.
You head off and you take the sword stick cane and you take the great sword with you.
And then
There's,
I'm just gonna, as I'm walking away, I'm just gonna look over my shoulder and quick my hair, and then just going like that. With a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a wiggle.
Stroke his leg, hitting his penis slightly, so it gets slightly hard, so it bulges out of his trousers even more.
That's it. Acknowledge.
Yes.
Okay, so
It's hard to kill.
Alexa's going to head off to. There's a technical workshop which you think will be the best place for you to apply your trade. I'll show you that on the map.
Okay.
Technical workshop is number 13 on the map. Which is,
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can see
you
that.
are currently over here. You just left this transport conduit on the left-hand side.
Are there signs direct to me or can I ask?
Exactly, but you do have a map. You got a map earlier. You got some maps earlier on from.
Yeah, I'll use the map.
Pilot Channel.
Well, do I have to make any sort of test?
No. There's no test. You'll be able to get there, no problem. So, what about everyone else then? So, Alexa's going to do a bit of crafting. What about the rest of you? What would you like to do? Where would you like to go?
I am going to say, right, Arnold, Jan, I'm going to do a bit of light reading. I'll catch up with you later. And I'm going to head off to the librarian.
All right. Can I lean over to Jan after Quintius is gone and go, Jan, do you fancy doing some cat hunting? Monkey cat.
Yeah. What else?
Let's find this little
Do we have a
pussy.
key for this?
Monkey tennis.
What's the chapel, Al?
The chapel. So the chapel is 1 moment. Where are we? So
No key.
it's 29. So that's up here. The 4 starboard side.
Can I make a coffee quickly?
Youth hosteling with Chris Akabusi.
And then the library is also in the same sort of region.
Knowing ME, knowing you.
I fucking love Alan Partridge.
Fucking hate it.
Okay, so you two are going to stay together then, Jan and.
Yeah, I'd like to do a bit of roleplay with Jan actually, to be honest, because we don't get much time. We haven't done much between us. That's why.
So Jan and Andy are going to stick together, and you're going to head off to the shrine. You say, Brownie?
Yeah, but like I'll do that afterwards. I could do with going to the shrine and maybe trying to hire my way out of some of this.
I'm going to come to shrine with you, and Annie's going to try and pray away some of his corruption because he feels guilty about his life.
Pray away the gay.
Okay, so we'll start with you two then, guys. So you head off to the 4 starboard side of the ship. You do get a bit lost at one point, but then you ask one of the servitors to take you, and the servitor goes compliance and tries to trundle off and and lead you in the direction that you want to go. So it takes you about 30 minutes to reach that location. So it takes you a good portion of time to traverse that your way down the ship. So it's several miles from one side of the ship to the other.
Meantime, I'm gonna have a quick conversation with Jan. If that's okay.
You got any more of that dog meat on you?
No, man. No, sorry, boss. No, you've Jamaican me. It's really hard not to do when we try and do a deep accent. Is I know it sounds funny, but switching from Scandinavian to Jamaican is quite easy because we all go ooh between. so yeah.
Dog meat might have been useful to attract the cat, man.
No, it was It probably would have been actually, but cats hate dogs. I bet the meat stank. Well, the meat did stink. I had in my backpack for about 2 days. I was pleased to offload it. This guy was so hungry, salivating. What's it called? Salivating from the mouth. He was really on for it. Got 40 thrones for that. Hey, Jan, do you want to cut? I'll give you 10 thrones.
What that for, man?
That's because you killed the dog yourself. Fuck's sake, I can't get it out of my head. I can't do my northern accent when I hear Jamaican accent.
You can just speak without an accent if you prefer. But I know what you mean, though. It's tough. It's tough when you keep splitting. Yeah.
Remember, Hayden, you need your key phrase to get you back in the room. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. I'm sorry, but you can't have dog meat just yet because I sold it all to the man with a plan. But you can have 10 thrones, and here you go.
There you go. Easy as that. You just need your key phrase.
Thank you, Dave. Get to the chopper was perfect. I heard Brownie just flung me. I couldn't get back into it. It just kept going Caribbean.
The thing is, Brownie's now set a precedent with Dusk being a Jamaican accent.
Yeah,
and I have
really
plans
good.
to use Dusk at some point, so I'm going to have to do it. And all I have to do is say bacon sandwich to get into a Jamaican accent. Bacon
sandwich.
Yeah.
Bacon sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I do as well. Because, can you say bacon without saying beer can in Jamaican? You fucking can't. It's impossible. Bacon. You'd have to say con, wouldn't you, instead of can? Bacon.
Eat your beer can sandwich in your wigwam.
Even when I'm saying it like that, I sound like an African female instead of a man because my voice isn't as deep. Jamaican female instead of a man. Yeah. But my voice isn't deep enough, so I end up sounding like a girl. Damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so you're walking down the corridors following the servitor, which keeps going, compliance, as it trundles off. You're following it towards the shrine. You don't see too many people. It's for such a large ship, you don't see too many people in the corridors.
So, Vinyard, what did you think of that dodgy guy we're dealing credits with now? I noticed you didn't deal any with him. What are your thoughts on that?
I just like to watch and learn, man. While I figure out what I need to figure out.
Yeah, just a silly question, but do you know what I'm thinking right now? I know you're a psycho, and it's just crazy that I'm next to someone who can move objects or see things, or I'm not used to it.
It's still early days, man, in my in what I can do with my power.
Well, you saw the location of the painting on the ship. That's something you're going to tell the Inquisitor.
I need to practice with my mind like you practice with your sword.
Yeah, I need more practice with my sword, to be fair, but you're right. Anyway, let's carry on. The Emperor awaits.
So yeah, so you reach the shrine, and you walk inside. The servitor trundles off. Its task complete, and you walk inside the shrine. I'd like both of you to make an awareness test, please, sight based.
Oh, they were. Did I pass?
I'm afraid not.
What'd you say, Al?
Awareness test, sight based, please.
You know, one thing I'm quite happy about tonight. I got to use my intimidate for the first time. Back down a guy.
Slug wanted nothing to do with you.
Well, I was trying to do it as amicably as possible for the situation, because I kind of wanted to just fight him, but on the same hand, I would have had to beat his 3 mates as well, or 2 mates. So.
Well, you say that, but Quintius's plan, if he got hit again, was to either run towards you or run out the door.
Well, I just thought I'd get the situation before he actually, because he'd punched you, so I've got a good excuse to go now. They'd missed you before, but he just clocked you with a bit of damage and it looked like it hurt. So I thought I'd stand in the way and then talk to him.
I'm not done with Slug.
You haven't seen the last of me, Slug.
Slug's not done with you, I don't think, either.
Okay, guys. So you're in the shrine. It's a very large chamber, a series of pews all along. The bulk of the room is taken up by these pews, but they're not full at all. There's only a handful of people in the shrine itself. One side, go on.
As we're walking, I'm just going to sit down on a pew and start praying. The Emperor at the back.
I was just going to say that one side of the room is given over to iconography and statues of the saints and the like.
Okay, well, I'm still going to sit and pray on the pew.
Okay, so Arnold, you're sitting and praying. Jan, what are you doing?
We're just going to wander around, check out all these saints, check out the paraphernalia while I try and comprehend this imperial cult.
Okay, so you go around and you take in some like stories being told by the.
Keeping an eye out for a priest, then.
Okay, you keep your eye out, and you would assume that there would be a priest around, but so far you haven't seen one. You do clock as you start to move around. You see Sister Xanthe from Cell 54, and you also see Sister Clematis, and they appear to have been talking. But there's no sign of
make their acquaintance.
Okay, well, we'll wait for Arnie to come back here. Seeing as
I'm here.
Oh, you're here, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just having a wee at the door.
No worries.
I can talk.
No worries.
I can hear you.
So, Jan, you head over. This is unfair. When she sees you, she bows her head. She avoids eye contact. But Sister Clematis meets you with an open smile. And then, Hayden, if you'd like to take on Sister Clematis at this time.
Bonjour.
Feel
Ça
free.
va? How are you today, mon chéri? What do you do? I see you with your group in the elevator.
Wagwan sisters.
Wagwan to you too, son.
I take it you were down on the planet as well, if I remember rightly.
Oh yes, we had to beat up some big fucking multiple-eyeball tentacle demon. And we did it efficiently, rescued the prisoners from the mine, and did the Emperor's work as commanded by our Inquisitor.
We had a successful mission, but there was a terrible cost.
The planet is most vexing, and I don't like the miasma and the effects it has on all of us. Sisters, what do you do to cleanse yourself of the taint that the miasma must leave behind on all men?
I will
You must
tell
have
you.
seen the mutants, what the man turns into when he gets down on the planet. We can't be having that to ourselves.
Sister Clematis will approach Dusk and say, "Well, Dusk, you have to be insanely devout to the Emperor. I myself felt a little bit when I came in, but once I empowered myself, it did not bother me. You just need to have willpower and faith in the Emperor yourself. And
Is
that
there
what it is
anything we can do once we return to the light of the Emperor upon this vessel to rid ourselves of the taint?"
Zonfe
Maybe
nods as well to what Sister Kamesi is saying. She goes, "Yes, your faith must be your armor."
Then I must enhance my faith, sisters. Please, teach me.
And I think I believe that the taint can be removed via scourging of the flesh.
Go on. What does that entail?
Well, when we strike the flesh with barbs or tools and cause pain upon ourselves, it makes our faith in the Emperor stronger.
The flagellation.
Yes. Flagellation. We'll remove the taint, I believe.
That's your method, Zanfir. I'm not tainted yet. I have just been praying devoutly.
Yes, there is a sanctity in pain.
I'm sure you might appreciate that, but I did not whip myself. I make
Where
others
can I
to
learn
be
such a ritual, sisters?
Zanfi goes, I could teach you the proper forms. I could
Very
teach you the
well.
ways.
We shall see if it.
Okay, so as you're talking, an old gentleman, he sees the three of you together, and then he wanders over, and he has a bowl, and he goes, "The faithful I see, welcome. Would you care to make a donation to the shrine?" And he offers up the bowl. You see, there's a few thrones in there, but not very much.
I will put one in as Clematis.
Okay, you've got to put one throne in.
I'll put the 10 Hayden gave me in.
Okay. Okay. He goes, most generous. And you are, sir? I don't believe I've seen you before.
My name is Ya. I've been thrown out recently and didn't disturb it.
Emperor's blessings upon you all. And he looks over at Clematis and Xanfe and goes, and then Xanfe hands over 5 thrones as well. He goes, yes, most generous sister, most generous. You must be your priestess, aren't you, Lady Clematis?
Yes. I am versed the way the cloth. What do you need?
Yes, Sister Xanfe told me about you. Well, we're looking for someone to run our services. You see, do you think that you would be able to take on board this duty?
Oh, hold on a second. You want me to stand up on stage and perform to my crowd?
It's not so much a performance. I don't think I would denigrate it in such a
How
way.
would you dare say giving the Emperor's sermon is anything but a glorious performance to the Emperor himself?
He seems taken back by your zeal. Performance is. I always associate that word with those sham actors.
Stubborn, then. If you want to say the word stubborn instead of my performance, you go and be a naysayer.
Yes. No, it's only. I'm sure it's just a matter of choice of words. We all have different ways to communicate. Just those sham actors. They always, give things a bad name, don't they?
Oh, oui, monsieur. But I would be honored to give sermon for the emperor if I could, and praise to be his name.
Yes, very good. He says, it's our current priest. I haven't seen him in weeks.
Have you checked his room?
I have. He's not to be found.
No. Maybe he was not as honest a priest as you would have known.
Well, he seemed perfectly honest to me. Perfectly pure and pure man, I'm sure.
Oh,
Good man. And I'll tell you his name.
Where did you see him last?
Well, here in the shrine itself. Two weeks
and,
ago.
How was his mental state?
Well, he seemed agitated, but
What about? Did you find out? Did you have an inkling?
no, I didn't think anything of it. But yes, he seemed agitated.
He was agitated.
He's talking about the priest. He's asked Sister Comatus whether she'll do some service work, and that the actual priest has been missing for the last 2 weeks.
Oh no.
If you could, as faithful servants of the Emperor, perhaps you'd be able to find him for us.
We will try, but what is his name first? We cannot go forward without his name.
No, he's got a perfectly good name, and I'll tell you his right name. His name is Father Tully.
Father Tully.
Yeah, please.
Tully.
Tully.
Oh, Sully.
Tully.
Tully. Perfect.
Fully.
Not Pulley.
Not Pulley.
Not fully.
Not fully right. It's Tully.
Fully.
Pulley. Father Pulley.
No, not Pulley. What do you mean? That's not what I said at all.
Anyway, Father. We'll look for this Father Pulley.
Oh, it's not. What are you not listening? Are you deaf, sister?
It was Father Fully, man.
Father Tully.
Well, if you're not going to take this serious, I think it's a very serious business.
I think it is very serious as well, but you've just asked me to be chapel priest without even knowing me for a second more. Now you're asking me to go out on adventures. What is stopping you?
Don't you want a perfectly good side quest?
I do, but I like to question my motive first. This is Sister Clematis one about. Zard'd just go, yeah.
Well, Arnie's there as well. He's like you.
Arnie's praying at the back. You can hear it, but is still praying for the God Emperor himself to save him from the corruption he's begun in the island.
And this elderly fellow, he says, surely doing the Emperor's work is enough. What more motivation do you need? We have to stick together. We have to have faith in one another.
I have faith in everyone. And I will do these summons. And I will go look for his Father Tully. I was just making jest of you. If you want to be like that. So, I will do what you want. And I will get it done efficiently. And
Thank you.
Be done.
Thank you, Lady Priestess. You've done as much as I could possibly ask. And now, would you lead us in the service?
You want another question? Another request?
Would you lead us in the service?
As much as you possibly could ask. And then you're asking me something else.
He's already asked you for that previously, hasn't he? So.
Just gonna light a cigar.
He says, "No smoking is permitted in the shrine."
It's just, I know. Je connais.
Okay, so Sister Clematis smokes a cigar, and is there anything else you'd like to do in the shrine? Jan or Arnie?
Arnie
Or Comatus?
Well, I will learn the concept of self-flagellation in order to.
Okay. Well, Sister Xanfe, she has to meet you. She says it's more of a private ritual, so she has to meet you later on. Should we say you come evening time?
Okay.
7 o'clock.
Arnie's been listening to this while praying. Would he be able to go? Please, can I self-flagellate as well? Damn fair.
She looks you up and down a bit. So she goes, "Yes, it will. It will. I'm sure this will help you in your time on the planet."
It certainly will.
Creep. But she doesn't say that. But she might be thinking it. How many characters do you want to get knocked back by on Xanfe? I have interest.
3 so far. Wait a second. Yeah, but she really likes exclamators, so I'm only on 2. 2 out of 3. That's not bad.
It's always time for Gaius.
Gaius won't even be interested. He'd be like, "You just a body count." Gaius does not care for these things. He's no sexual output.
So so Sister Xanfe, Jan, and Arnie are going to arrange for some private flagellation time later on.
Sorry, I'm such a kid.
You are.
The last time Hayden had private time with Sister Xanthi, it did not end exactly as he expected.
I was trying my hardest with Dick. I wish we would have recorded those first 4 games. They were amazing, especially the one for the fight with the crow.
Yeah.
The fight with the crow was epic because I rolled some ridiculous dice to pull it out of the sky. I've been a strength 37 character against a strength 60 crow.
Hello, Chew.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so I say, is there anything else you'd like to do in the shrine, or should we move on to Alexa or Quintius?
Yep, move on.
Okay, so we'll leave you two there for now, and we're going to pop over to Alexa. Okay, so Alexa, you make your way to technical workshop. You don't need directions. You don't get lost. You walk in. It's an incredibly smart and tidy looking section of the ship.
I'm just going to gas in a robotic way.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's the best workshop you've had access to in quite some time. Certainly puts the Bayou workshop to shame. You see multiple tech adepts working on various benches, and you also clock as you walk in the technomancer Xerxes, who was the guy who helped Dr. Festus Bucket put you to freeze you, put you in the cryo coffins.
Okay, cool.
Who's this guy over here?
Cool.
There's a series of tools available here for you to use for crafting, such as a forge, lathes, very smaller tools and what have you. It's quite a comprehensive place to do crafting here. So, what are you wanting to do? Well, as you walk in, a servo skull floats up to you and appears to be watching you.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a small servo skull.
I'm going to say hello in binary. How
Okay.
does that sound?
Okay, you spurted it in binary. It doesn't respond.
Okay, and then I just continue to speak to who looks like they're in charge around here.
The technomancer definitely looks like he's in charge. He seems as you draw closer to him, he's wearing the mechanicus robes. There's a series of pipes coming out of his torso and into his face. You can't see much of him, but what bits you can see of him appear to be augmented.
Okay.
He appears to be metallic in a lot of places, from what you can see. But most of his body is obscured by the red robes.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to speak.
Okay, as you move over to him, he spurts a welcome greeting in binary.
Let's put it back.
He goes, beep, 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 beep. Okay, so you communicate. So are you going to communicate electronically, or are you going to communicate using your
Yeah, I'll communicate
vocal
electronically.
cords? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not going to. Okay, so you communicate electronically with him, and he goes, "Welcome, little one," and he scans you.
Okay, and I'll bow and I'll scan back.
And he goes, "Little one shows much promise.
And I'm going to thank him.
The ship has shown interest in you. All praise be to the ship."
All praise be.
He goes, "What brings you to the workshop?"
Forging.
He goes, "Very good." And he starts to say, he scan catches you. Did you give up the harpoon cannon to Arnie? Did I hear?
I did.
Yeah.
You did. Okay, very well. And he goes,
I'm now walking around with a harpoon cannon because he can't hold my great sword and a harpoon cannon. She can.
Okay.
Arnie could hold everybody else's gear as well as himself.
Can't remember whether I had safety on. So
Be careful.
Yeah.
So the servo skull, Johnny, it doesn't go away. It's just following you, and it seems to be scanning you all the time. And
that's fine.
the Technoman says to you and says, "Optimal improvement for you. Augmentation required. Too much flesh. Inefficient.
Perhaps another time.
Prioritize augmentation."
Okay. Perhaps I could work on this while you work on me.
He's not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to do that for you here and now. It would also like this sort of thing would also require the doctor's input as well. So
yeah.
okay. So what do you want? You want to work on the greatsword? You want to put a mono edge?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a mono edge on that first of all.
Okay. So he goes this way, and he takes you over to the workbench where there's a diamond like a grinding wheel there that can turn incredibly fast and can be used to bring the surface of the blade to a monomolecular edge.
Uh-huh.
So you want to do?
I'm asking if he'll help assist with it.
He goes, "I will assist. It would be diverting."
Excellent. Acknowledge. And okay, I'm gonna go over to it and I'm gonna get the wheel going.
Okay.
I'll probably be able to use something like this anyway because this would be something you're familiar with.
Yes, this is something you are familiar with. This is it's within your capabilities to put this sort of augmentation on a weapon.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him to hold the handle, and then I'm going to get some sort of like tongs, pliers or something like that, and then just sort of motion him to move the blade along. You'll probably figure out what I'm trying to do by putting the edge on it and stuff as well, and sort of move it along. Or actually, I could do that with my hands. My hands are sort of like mechanical, so it wouldn't really affect them. So I'm going to start putting an edge on this blade, try and put a mono edge on this blade on both sides. I'm going to try. So
okay. So as you do so as well, he's there's a shifting in his red robes and a large augmetic bionic arm comes out, which he uses to hold the sword in place and to assist you.
perfect.
And he's also scanning it at the same time and suggesting minute adjustments for you to make in the angle of your working. So what I'd like for you to do now, let's have a look. What skills will be? Is it armor smith? I think will probably be the
Armor. I've got armor.
Let's have a look. Alexa. Oh, what's going on here? For some reason I'm not signed in. That's weird. Just struggling to get the cat sheet at the minute. Just give me a second.
I've got trade armor.
Okay, yeah. So I think trade armor is the correct one to use there. So what I'd like you to do, you're going to spend several hours on this to get it correct. I'd like you to make an armor roll. Now I'd like you to add +20 for the workshop that you're in. It's got all the mod cons.
Yeah.
Add +20 to your roll. I'd also like you to add +10 for the assistance that
Excellent.
Technomancer Xerxes is going to offer.
Okay.
Okay, so that's looking pretty good.
Cool.
Okay, so that's a success.
Good.
So it's going to take several hours to do this work,
Yeah.
but it will be successful.
Okay.
And as you're working, and there's an enjoyment to be taken from the work, there's a satisfaction in producing stuff with your hands, and you lose track of time. You know, what you're doing is meaningful, and you lose track of time. You're focused on the task at hand, and there's a satisfaction to it. And Technomancer Xerxes engages you in a little bit of probing questions while you're working.
Okay.
And he goes, "Did you find anything of value on the planet to be used by the ship?"
Did we find anything of value?
Food.
I don't think this guy's interested in your dog meat.
No, I don't.
The ship requires high-value commodities. You must prioritize seeking resources for the ship. Do you understand?
Compliant. Because he's obviously a senior like adept or something like that, so he'd outrank me in terms of things. So I'd take my instruction from him in that sense. So yeah. Acknowledge updating objectives for that. Now that I'll across a bit of binary stuff as well. So yeah, I'm going to carry on doing that. Does he have any more questions for me? I'm just going to reel off the things that we've potentially heard. It's like mineral deposits, go into stats of whatever required about sort of the composition of like the local environment and things like that, and just pass over all that data to him. Basically, the things we've encountered, the trade, all the trade information about the hides and things like that found, and then also about the bounty hunting as well. Bounties to be potentially had as well on the planet that could earn thrones and things like that, which could obviously the ship money. So I'm gonna basically just give him a detailed rundown of the local economy.
Okay. So you give him a data package spurt, and he starts to and he goes processing, and he starts to make this weird clanking noise. There's some sort of cogitator system which you weren't previously aware of starts to kick into action, and it makes this horrible clanking noise as something starts to rotate in the back of his head.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Little of value discovered thus far on planet. Hides, moderate value at best."
Agreed. Recommend exterminator.
And he goes, and he nods slightly, but he doesn't say anything. Okay, so you've going to do some successful crafting there. It's going to take you a few hours. So while this is going on, we're going to shift over to Quintius.
Okay, sorry, I was just being tricked by the cat. She tried to persuade me she needs feeding, but apparently she's just been fed.
She does need feeding.
Perhaps that was a hint that we should find the monkey cat. So, yeah, I'm heading to the librarian.
Okay, so you head off on your own, and you manage to get there without any trouble. You don't see many people on the journey. You do see a squad of stormtroopers on patrol, but none of them that you recognise, and they're all dressed up in full armor.
Are they just walking, or are they going?
They are just And one of them, you see one of them. Actually, make an awareness test, please, for me, Dave. Site based.
Okay. Awareness. Nope.
Okay. So yes, you don't notice anything of particular interest as you walk past these stormtroopers. So you head to the librarian, and there's no guards or anything. You walk straight in. You see numerous grey-robed adepts going around. Their business seems to be cataloging some of the data banks. So most of the librarium is given over to cogitators, although there does seem to be a section for traditional paper books, which are quite a rarity. You know from your time in Scintilla that real books are a luxury.
Yep.
But there do seem to be some here in the librarium. So as you walk in, your entrance doesn't seem to get any much attention. But when you walk in, a servo skull does come across and scan you.
Ooh.
It's a small servo skull.
Ooh.
So it scans you and then it flies off.
Thank you. I'm going to. Oh, cheers, darling. I'm not saying that to the servo skull. That would be weird.
Cheers, darling.
Cheers, darling. I'm just going to stride over to the closest adept and say,
Okay.
and as I'm walking, I'm doing this, clicking my fingers and go, my good man, excuse me, service?
The adept looks up and you actually realise that you have met this adept before. He looks quite young, looks about maybe 16, 17, something like that. Got piercing blue eyes. And his name is Nathaniel. He was with the interrogator when you were first defrosted.
Yep.
And he gave you your mission on the planet. And he recognises you and goes, Quintius, is it?
Yes, Quintius, Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Yes, I remember you, my good man. Yes, you were there when we were popped out of the ice machine. Yes, I was wondering if you could help me, my good man. The books in here, are they available to anyone? Specific people? Can I am I allowed to delve into them, so to speak?
As the Inquisitor's acolytes, you're entitled to come here for research and study, but the books are not to leave the chamber.
I understand completely. Somewhat restricted. So could you direct me in the region I would require for specific topics of research?
I know my way around. What exactly is it that you're looking for?
I'm interested in a number of things. Primarily, I'm interested in learning about a specific race of Xenos creatures known as the Dark Eldar.
He goes, and he takes about a minute before he can actually get a word out. And
I mean, just point.
yes. Xenos information can. And he moves you over. But it takes him. It seems to really be struggling to say the words. But he takes you over to a cogitator bank, and he says, "You enter your passcode here, and you all have a particular code which is specific to you as an acolyte.
Okay.
And everyone's got their own individual one. This will give you access to various systems within the ship."
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he says, I'll leave you to it, shall I?
Oh yes, I'll give you a shout if I need anything else. Thank you, Nathaniel.
Mhm.
Nice to see you again.
N-
Just nod.
Nice to see you.
Just nod, Nathaniel. It's fine. Thank you. And I'm going to spend a couple of hours just reading about the Dark Eldar.
Okay, so what should we call this? I think maybe so you're kind of doing some research to improve your knowledge and understanding about them. So So would you say intelligence? I don't know if there's anything more suited.
No, it would be if you were doing it properly. It would be a forbidden law skill, I suppose. But I don't have forbidden law for that specific topic.
Okay, so no, we'll just make. I'd like you to make 2 intelligence tests, please, for the time that you spend over the next few hours.
Straight
And
intelligence.
yeah, just straight intelligence, please. Okay.
Rubbish.
So you're not very academically minded. You do get quite bored with any sort of book reading, but you do start to pick up bits about the Dark Eldar, which you've not heard about before. Your knowledge of Xenos is like most people in the Imperium. It's very limited. So you do start to pick up little bits about what the Dark Eldar are, and what sort of threat they pose to the Imperium. You start to learn that they're a race of torturers and sadists who feed on the suffering and pain of others. And you also find various sections on the recent attack that done by a group of Dark Eldar known as the Sin Reavers.
Okay.
And that was what was described to you previously by Rastin.
Yep.
And you also find sort of casualty reports and the like thereof for that attack. And then you see there's a hefty butcher's bill that was paid that day.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna. Is there anything else you want to do? Just studying on Dark Eldar for the time being.
Literally a couple of hours, and then I'm gonna leave and go.
Okay.
The shrine, I think.
So you get a cursory knowledge of Dark Eldar.
Okay.
I'd like to pop back now to Sisters Armsface, Sister Clematis, Arnie, and Yarn. Back at the shrine. You've done some praying. You've discussed some side quests. And Yarn, you've done a bit of investigating and learned a bit about the Imperial Creed. You've made arrangements to have a bit of flagellation time later on.
Might go and research the process as well.
Yeah. She says she'll she'll teach you, but she says she gives you a time and she tells you where chambers are. Yeah, so she arranges to meet up with you in the evening time, about 7 o'clock. It's now around 3 o'clock. You've got a bit more time to spend if you want. Right here in the shrine, or maybe something else you want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to look to the library and I'm going to look at the process because I remember what do you call it? There was an old book called Space Marine, and there was the Imperial Fists would acid off the flesh on their hand and scrimshaw all of it things. So that might be a cooler process rather than system style self-flagellation. So I might go anyway. I'll go and research.
You don't fancy beating yourself with a flail at nightly to try and improve your faith.
Rather than pouring acid on your hand to make skin melt.
Yeah, but then obviously they're Space Marines, so they've got the tech to regrow the hand.
Hey, so you'd like to head off to the librarian to see if you can research another way of defending against the miasma, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Okay. Arnie, what are you wanting to do? You want to go with him?
I would like to go separate from Yarn. Yarn, I'm off to go look for this monkey cat.
Yeah, fine. Give me a shout if you find anything.
I will do. I'm going to look for the monkey cat. And who's the other guy I need to look for?
Father Tully has gone missing.
Father
He's a priest.
So I'm going to start wandering the ship corridor by corridor and asking people along the way to the whereabouts of both these things.
Okay, so I'd like you to make 2 inquiry rolls. Firstly for the cat, and secondly for the priest.
Good for inquiry. Inquiry 8. Oh well, I believe. Did it work?
It did work.
It did work.
No, well, no, the roll worked, as in you successfully rolled a dice. But no, your target here says 8 for inquiry.
Yeah, exactly.
not,
I double clicked on my thing and it went off into a different screen. I have to come back in again. If you double click, your screen goes wrong.
Okay, so that's the first inquiry roll. You make a second inquiry roll, so that's for the cat.
Give me a
Secondly, for
I'm
Father
just
Tully.
trying to get back into the game. I'm nearly there. Loading roll 20. Phone swinging. Alright. Storm singer.
Okay, can you make a roll, buddy, or still
Yeah, I
stuck,
am.
or-
I will do. I've kind of like just. I think I've just messed. Oh no, that's it. I shrank it down too much. You know, how should I put this? Sorry. I know it should like be easy, but somehow I've managed to mess up all my rolling system.
I'll do it for you if you want, mate. So where are we?
One minute.
So,
I'm nearly there. I'm on my character sheet. What do I have to roll?
It's inquiry. It's a basic skill.
Again, so I've got to roll another 8. Right, here we go. Feeling like a punk.
So Arnie, you shred the decks. You're walking up and down the corridors. You collar people, on anyone that you see wandering around, and you ask them, and you ask them about the missing cat monkey. You ask them about the missing priest, and there must be something about the way you ask. Some people shy away from you. They seem scared. And it seems to be some people you're mostly scaring, but no one's got any answers or anything useful for you. Most of them haven't even heard that there were any cats on board, and a lot of people don't seem to have any interest in the imperial cult. They're just not that interested. Perhaps they've not gone for any services. They don't know the priest. They've not seen him around.
Unfortunately,
So-
Arnie's not the best guy for this job.
Nope, he certainly isn't. So
Give me the whereabouts of the cats.
tell me where it is.
Tell me. Otherwise, I'll break a skull. I should have more results than what I've just had. He never gave me an intimidate test, did he? Because I'd be intimidating every time I came across.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're kind of working that into the inquiry fails. It's just that's kind of partly why you're failing to, you're just not very good at asking this sort of question. I think you've got your mic off, Dave. I think you tried to say something, did you, before? Yeah.
I was just fucking about.
Yeah, that's fine. I knew you were fucking about, but still, you were fucking about in silence. So,
yeah.
So Yarn, you go back to the library, and you're trying to make some discoveries as to how to fend off the miasma. So I'd like you to make a couple of intelligence rolls while you do some study, and because you have, let's have a look. You've got some relevant skills here. Let's have a look what you've got. Okay, so because you've got forbidden law and scholastic law, occult and demonology, I'd like you to add +10 to your intelligence roll. I'd like you to make 2 intelligence rolls, please, adding +10 to each.
I'm very average.
Okay, so you spend a few hours learning and trying to see if there's anything you could do, maybe some sort of kind of ritual tattoos, and you think there might be something in that. But as you're reading deeper, yeah, I've got this. So yeah, as you're reading deeper and deeper into this database, you stumble upon something else. So you think there might be something to ritual tattoos. That symbols have power in warding off the effects of the influence of the primordial annihilator. So there are runes and patterns and wardings that could perhaps give protection. You think, but they're not detailed here. But you think that you might be onto something there. But you also, during your studies, you read about some studies into like a medicinal or herbal defense against the corrupting effect. Certain herbs that could be used to dull the sensitivity of the mind to the effects of the arch enemy and his influences. So there is a way of kind of dulling the mind by various herbs. This could be another way of protecting yourself against the miasma. So while you're doing that, we're going to go back to Alexa. Oh, she's not there yet. No, we won't go back to Alexa. Oh, yeah, there, buddy. Okay, so you've done a good job on the Terminator. You know that Arnie's going to be happy with you when you see him next.
Okay.
So you're going to try next to put a mono edge on the sword stick cane. Okay.
Mono dagger.
Okay, so it's a beautiful piece of work, this cane, and you twist the skull cap, and it pulls out like a thin sword that is hidden within the cane itself, and it's a beautiful piece of work. And you speak to this will take you a bit less time, to do than the greatsword, but it's in some ways it's more difficult because there's a bit more finesse to it as well.
Yeah.
So it's it will take less time, but it is also quite tricky.
I'd definitely like to ask for help with this one. If the guy's available, if the tech guy's available.
The technomancer goes, yes, the ship wants me to assist you.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. I'm just going to nod and then go to the grinders and whatever else we need.
It's Alyssa. Alyssa has got into the ship. This is years in the future.
So again, it's an armor roll. I want you to have plus 20 for the workshop, plus 10 for your assistant, but it's minus 10 for the difficulty of the task. Because it's a bit more finesse is required.
Okay, so that's minus 20. So if you mind, that's with plus 30. I got a dice roll of 6.
That's the plus 30, so that's plus 20, plus 10. But it's actually 6 degrees of success you've got. So that's a great roll. And you are you get a real feel for this blade. There's a kinship that you feel, and you're also getting into the swing of it, and you realise this is where you belong, in the forge, in the workshop, crafting and making weapons. This is this is where you belong, and you sense that Xerxes also has a satisfaction in the work, in the crafting. And do you think that you've done an above, a better job on the sword stick cane than you did on the Terminator? And you think this might be some of your finest blade work?
Yeah, excellent. Very pleased with that.
Well played, Johnny.
Okay,
so Johnny's doing a bit more crafting.
No, Frank. Get down. And get claws on it.
I'm going to come back to Quintius now. So back around to you. So are you heading out of the librarium now?
I'm heading to the shrine.
Okay, so as you head out, you kind of cross paths with Yarn, who's coming from the shrine heading to the librarium.
Wagwan, my good man.
Wagwan.
Just carry on going.
Okay. And you realise you're being followed by the service skull.
Okay, I'm just going to ignore it and carry on.
Okay, so you head to the shrine. Make an awareness roll when you come in here.
Awareness. Straight awareness? No modifier?
No modifier? Oh, it's site-based. I don't know if that means anything.
No, not for me. It doesn't. Yeah, just a pass.
Okay, you struck by how empty the shrine is. There's quite a few people here. You would expect for a ship of this size for there to be more people here. You see Sister Clematis. She's up on the pulpit. talking to the, putting on a bit of a service. She's reading from some scriptures to those who are listening. And there's a few handful of people who are listening to her with awe, really. Can we just have a performance roll for Mr. Clematis?
Of
Today,
course.
can we have a what we're going to do then for your sermon? I'd
Give me
like
a
you to
second,
roll.
Let me
What have we
get
got?
my
What's relevant?
fact sheet up. It's Clematis.
It would be fellowship roll, but do we have anything we can add to it?
I've got performance, haven't I? Trade performer. I've got a trade performer.
You do. Okay, so I'd like you to make a fellowship roll. I'd like you to add plus 20 on it for trade performer, and also because you are comfortable topic for you. I'd like you to add plus 20 to your sermon roll, please.
How was that?
Beautiful. So you know, Quintius, did you walk as you walk in, and you catch you're not a very religious person, but you catch bits of Sister Clematis' sermon. It starts to stir, I think, inside you, some sort of, it stirs a little nudge of faith in there. Her words are moving, and they raise your spirits.
Okay.
So there's a few handful of people. There's Sister Clematis doing a sermon. What would you like to do?
I've just got this image of like Clematis, like, and then like saying
she's
really
still got a
powerful
cigar on the
thing.
go.
Smoking a cigar, like puffing out like Aquila. You know what I mean? Cigar smoke. And then just breathing through it, and then just continuing to breathe. And then just like, oh my god, yeah. That was
So-
good, right?
You're absolutely right,
Well,
Alan. Quintius is not a very religious person. And as I enter the shrine and I hear Clematis and a bit stirred by her words, I get a few steps in and then I stop, take a few steps back to the entrance, and then bow and make the sign of the Aquila. Like, I forgot that. And then I'm going to sit right at the back on my own, away from everyone else. And I'm going to softly, after listening to Clematis for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to pray on my own. And I'm going to say, Blessed God Emperor on Holy Terror, forgive me for my sins and for my absence. I know I promised you that after my transgressions, I swore I would be better. And I've tried, I really have. But, well, old habits and all that. Anyway, I'm sure you've seen it all, omniscience, etc. The thing is, I realize it's been a while since I last spoke to you. But if it's all right with you, I'd like you to pass a message on to Mumsy, if you could. I'm starting to get a little bit emotional at this point. And say, Mumsy, hi, it's me, Quintius, obviously. How are you? I miss you terribly, and I hope you're well. I know it's been a while, and I know I promised to call more often, but it was a matter taken from my hands. Long story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I've done, what I did, and I'm trying to make up for it. Really, I am, but it's difficult. And if I had known that the God Emperor would punish you for my behavior, well, I guess it's too late for that now. But anyway, I'm trying to make amends, and I've made a few friends, sort of, who are helping me in a way, and I'm doing his work now. Perhaps that will weigh in your favor in his holy judgment, if not in my own. Anyway, you best put the big man on again. I guess I miss you, Mumsy, and I love you. Sorry about that, my lord. Had to get that off my chest. Please go easy on her. Save your wrath for me when I get there, but perhaps not yet. I have work to do. In your name. And he's just going to start softly crying at the back of the church.
No, Quinn.
Very good.
Clematis notices.
He's right at the back. To you, it's just another listener, and you're getting carried in with your sermon. You're full into your fire and brimstone. As far as you're aware, you do know Quintius, as in you briefly know him because you were introduced on ship. But you will you basically think that he's been taken in by a sermon, and that you don't necessarily hear what he's saying, or any of that.
Happy the fact that it's gone to that.
You've moved him to tears, as far as you can see.
Yeah.
So System will come out, puts on a great sermon. Quintius will stay there and listen for a while. So we're going to go back on to Yarn. It's getting a bit later now. It's about 5 o'clock. Is there anything else you'd like to do? If you've done some study, you think that you might be able to either, with further study, you might be able to find something more about these runes of warding, or like you say, it might be worthwhile heading down the sort of herbology path as adequate defenses. But you think you've kind of learned as much as you can at this stage, but you've got some promising leads for further research.
Cool.
Is there anything else you'd like to do in the library for now, or is there anything else that you would like to?
Yeah, I'll find out where Arnold is, and I'll go and assist him in searching for this cat.
Hey, so you comms into Arnold. I don't know where Arnold is at this point. Where were you, Arnie? You just up and down the ship. So
shit out people while asking them where things are.
So you get comms in from Yarn. Yarn's comms you over the personal link.
Where you are, boy? Come on, dear.
I'll tell you, Mars, it's a perfectly good location if I had the ship map in front of me.
Okay, I'll get that in front of you, and it'll just be.
I've just got Dr. Festus.
Festus, my personal favourite. Okay, so at the minute, I've brought the ship up. Hopefully, you can see that now. So your location now is you're at the starboard side of the ship.
Okay, I'm between 20 and 14. I'm between room 20 and 14. Down in the bottom corner. Whereabouts are you, Yarn?
Yarn's up here.
I'll head north to you down the side of the ship if you want. And we can rendezvous there while we see each other down this long fucking corridor. It might take us an hour.
Okay. So you get some. You definitely get some miles in trawling through the ship, but it's good exercise anyway. You don't mind it. When you're marching, you're not fighting. So
I'm feeling a lot lighter anyway since I came to the ship. I've just lost 20 kilos of dog meat and 2 dog hides, which would have been a good bit of weight as well.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take a quick break. I'm just going to get another drink and have a slash, and then we'll carry on.
No, I'm enjoying this little ship bundle tonight.
A little bit of downtime. Everyone gets to do their own thing for a bit. Safe without having to worry about getting abducted.
Man, I had to break up a fight. I did want to grapple with the other person, but that's opening a can of worms.
I was hoping you would. That was literally what I wanted to happen. Like I said before, I'm trying to get Quintius to. Well, I'm trying to get Arnold to bond with Quintius because Quintius knows he's a fucking pussy and he needs someone to protect him. And I basically intentionally put myself in jeopardy, hoping that you'd step in.
I stepped in, but I diffused the situation with an intimidation check.
I thought it was a good chance to do it because it was non-lethal because it was just a punch-up. Like, I nearly did it in the casino.
It's lethal if Arnie punches someone. He's got a strength 5.
But
on the dice roll, plus if he gets another 5, that's success. Then it's just killed a man in the bar.
Well, when it was in the high stakes game in the casino, I was going to do it then, but I thought if we start a bar fight, then it has much more lethal consequences for us than it does here on the ship. So I've been holding off, trying to like find an opportunity, and that was my opportunity. So I did it. But I'm going to do a few more things like that every now and then. Basically, run to Arnie whenever something goes wrong.
Fine.
Run and hide behind Arnie.
fine. Arnie knows how these things work. Arnie enjoys a confrontation. That's the thing. He doesn't mind you doing it because Arnie enjoys a bit of confrontation. Yes, bring it.
I'm gonna do something a bit more. If I've got some time to do it, go the extra mile on Arnie's blade by scrimshawing cool onto it because I've got.
Oh, thank you. It looks,
Yeah.
I will tell you when I see you in person.
So
Gonna do a bit scrim scoring.
yeah,
Scrimshaw,
Joris mentioned that he was sort of like, he was up for training with space, you know what I mean, or something like that, like, before he got sort of taken. And what I want to do is I want to scrimshaw the two wolves, Frecky and Gary, which are like living rusted wolves, onto it back to back on both sides of it. I mean, sort of like back to back, like ram wolf type sort of pose, like on both the sides of the blade. So he's got like a bit more style to it. There's that, and it's just sort of a nod to the fact that I think Alexa thinks he could have easily been a space after scanning him, and I figured that he gets my vote. So that's what I'm going to do with the scrimshaw.
Okay, so Xerxes leaves you now, as he'll leave you to do that work on your own.
Yep.
But before he goes, he says, "Remember what I said about resources for the ship. High priority on the surface of the planet. Seek out soul stones. High priority.
Confirmed.
Acknowledgement.
Compliant."
And he sends a little data spurt, giving you some rundown on these soul stones and what he speaks of.
Yeah.
And they appear to be like a gemstones with the ability to absorb the spirits of, or the kind of life force of people. Hence the name. So
What Dave's got in his pocket.
That's cool. Like those gems. Yeah.
says acquire for me, and I shall reward you.
So I'm gonna have to.
The ship will reward you.
I might just clobber Quintius with the blade when I turn the beastie now, and then nick those gems off him. And
But to find them first, you bitch! I'm going to hide them.
A brief moment of processing going on in Alexa's mind. Like...
I'm going to hide them up Brittany's ass.
Yeah. Attached to beads, like,
Anal soul beads.
Good.
Soul beads.
Okay, so I'd like you. So Xerxes leaves you for a while, leaving you those final instructions. I'd like you to make a scrim score roll. Let's have a look at your sheet. So you're going to do some work now. You get plus 20 for the workshop. Let's have a look at your character sheet. So scrimshoring is trade.
Yep.
So yeah, so I'd like you to make a trade scrimshaw roll with plus 20.
Okay. Hopefully it'll be good.
Okay. So you spend several hours doing this inscripting work on the blade itself.
I'm gonna use a fate point.
Well, I mean, you've succeeded here. You could do a better job if you get a better roll, but you could also do a worse job.
Yeah, I'll leave it there then.
I'm gonna leave it there. I mean, you have succeeded with that, so it is a pass. So I'm not saying you can't re-roll it and try and do better, but
no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna risk it. Get a lot worse.
That's very very sensible of you, Johnny. On characteristics, sensible.
I'll probably roll like end up snapping the blade like that. You know what I mean?
Probably not,
Yeah.
but you could do a worse job. You could, unless you roll 100, you probably wouldn't do any damage to the blade itself.
Okay.
So I think next up, then we'll just wait for Brian to come back, and we'll do Brownie and Yarn.
Yeah, Arnie's not gonna know that.
Arnie and Yarn rather.
Arnie's not going to know that I only got 0.7 degrees of success, is it? He just sees 2 wolves on it and like that.
It looks good. It looks impressive. You think he'll be impressed by it. So.
Cool.
That's going to take you into the evening, doing that further work.
Mm-hmm.
Yarn and Arnie, you meet up on the starboard side of the ship. You meet up. You're stood in a corridor. A servitor starts to trundle past you. You're on mute, Arnie.
Right. Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
1 second. Servitor.
Servitor turns to you.
Servitor, have you seen a bald monkey cat?
Okay. You've already made your inquiry roll, so you can't keep spamming inquiry. But the servitor turns around and goes, "Does not compute."
All right. Go back to Jan. So, did you find anything about the monkey cat?
I've not been looking for the monkey cat, except now I've been looking for ways to spiritually resist the corrupting effects of the miasma.
It's like high priority cat protection against the miasma.
Fuck the cat, man. Fuck the cat.
Oh, fuck me, man. I've been looking for hours.
That's
all I've been doing.
That's priority.
Everybody's going, I've seen the monkey cat. I've seen the monkey cat. And then,
Just leave me alone.
I've touched it. That's all I've been getting.
I made 3 grown men cry asking about a monkey cat.
I was tell me its location. They could not.
He'll be sat on the Inquisitor's shoulder when we have the briefing. You watch.
Oh well, you've I was going to do this little job for Dr. Festus Rex. Can you divinate the route with your shaman skills?
I need to do it in the quiet. I tried in the bar and.
Well, you can go back to your room if you want.
Go
back to your room. You've got your own room. You've got a bit of peace and quiet there.
Yeah, go back, try it again.
Okay, let's just check that out. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, so I'll move you onto the map. First, I shall just hide some people. So you go back to your chamber, and here you are. Yarn and Arnie. The chamber's pretty much as you left it. You've got there's no food on the table though this time. There's there's a chest for each of you, which you can store gear here if you wanted, and some cabinets. There's a comfy chair, washroom, toilet. So here you could you've got a bit of peace and quiet to do your ritual if you want, Jan.
Yeah.
Okay, so you set up on the table with the cat bowl, the chewed cat toy. You put a packet of herbs into a little bowl and set them alight, and it makes an aromatic smell fill the room. Arnie, you just try and stay quiet and you pay respect to the priest as he starts his ritual.
I'm just gonna sit.
Okay, and you're quite fascinated by watching him do his thing. What I'd like you to do now is to make another soothsaying roll, please. I'd like to add plus 30 to it this time.
Come in, Kitty. Where are you?
Okay, so that's a slight fail. Are you going to stick with that, or are you going to re-roll?
I don't have another reroll. I've only got one.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that.
No, I'll tell you what I do. I've got my armor now. What did that do?
Oh, yeah. That gives you a chance to get your fate points back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that lets you get them back on a 30 or 30 or lower.
Right. So let's try.
You just do a roll, anything 30 or less. Oh, so you don't get your fate point back.
No problem.
Okay, so you close your eyes and you put yourself into a meditative trance, and you begin chanting to yourself, and you beseech the spirit world to guide you as you seek to divine the future, and you softly chant, and your closed eyes twitch intermittently. And before you, on your prayer mat, is a small bowl in which you burnt the ritual herbs. And beside that is a half-chewed plastic toy and a metal bowl, which smells slightly of spirit. You cast the finger bones. You beseech the spirit world and ask the spirits of your ancestors to aid you, to grant you the information that you seek. Guide me, spirit. Offer me your aid.
Where did Kitty?
Grant me the wisdom of the ages. Tell me what I need to know. Where is the cat monkey? You sense a disturbance. Scorn, perhaps. The spirits seem to recoil at this basic task that you have set for them. You sense in your mind's eye your spirit detaching from your body. You travel through the corridors of a ship, and you sense a hostility from the vessel as you journey through the substructure of the craft. You sense that the machine spirit is aware of your scrying, and it does not approve. You journey deeper and deeper into the bowels of the vessel. And here there is a chamber given over to industrial process. You sense heat, fire and flame, burning and the grinding of pistons. The process is repetitious. Waste and refuse, bodies and debris fall from above and are driven into the incinerators. They burn and they consume all, and they power furnaces above. And here, somewhere in the burning darkness, you hear a crying, feline and scared. Here, in the bowels of a ship, is a cat monkey, trapped and crying for help. But the vision does not end as you might expect. Beyond the crying of the feline primate, there is another person crying, a human. Her cries are weak and lacking urgency. They are the cries of someone who has lost all hope. You venture further into the substructure of a ship and shift adjacent to this physical plane of existence. Here there is a place not in the material realm, not in the turmoil of the warp, but instead somewhere in between. You find the source of the cries a woman, emaciated and broken. She exists in a small cell that appears to be within the ship, yet not. Her home is not large enough for her to fully stand. She cannot extend her arms out completely before finding the confines of her cell. She cries knowing that no one will hear her, knowing that she has been forgotten. She looks up for a moment, sensing you, and looking into your spirit eyes. Her eyes are dull and glassy, but for a second you see a flicker of hope there. Help me. Help me, she begs. And the vision ends. Okay, so you awaken in the chamber, the room smelling of incense, sweat. Your skin is clammy with sweat. You still feel the heat from the burning and the furnaces.
The juju.
Do you know where the cat is?
I think I might be one, but even weirder, there might be somebody else where the cat is. It's,
What, like?
although I have just come up with an idea. Maybe Alexa could help us search through the ship, talk to the ship, use the senses of the ship to find the cat. Could I find my way back to the air? We need
You're
to.
not sure. You like it. It's almost like an abstract journey. You were traveling through the actual ship at times, not traveling down the corridors, but traveling through rooms. But you're not quite sure. You think it's towards the aft of the ship, deep in the bowels, and your strong images are of like a repeating incineration process and refuse and bodies falling from above.
What was the with the priest? Was that a female or a male? Did they?
The missing priest is a male.
Yeah.
Father Tully.
Oh yeah.
Father.
Okay, let you have a little. That'll be a little think about this, buddy. And we're going to go over to Quintius
Yeah.
now. I think Alexa's working on the scrimshoring. You've done your ritual. So Quintius, how would you like to spend the next few hours?
So after finishing my specific prayer, I am going to listen to Clematis for a bit and then get up and leave. And I walk out of the shrine. And then about 10 seconds later, I run back into the shrine and frantically go, sorry, make the sign of the Aquila and bow, and then turn and walk out again. It's all very new to Quintius. And I'm going to head to the training hall.
Okay. So this area is it's a place for people to train. There's like gymnasium equipment. There are armed servitors for you to spar with. There are shooting ranges for you to train with weapons fire. So it's an area of the ship for stormtroopers and acolytes, and even regular crew members to improve their proficiency in battle. Even the regular crew members might be called upon to fight, especially if the ship is boarded. So this area is pretty much open to all, and it does seem quite busy. It seems busier than the shrine was.
Is there anyone I recognise there?
Make an awareness test.
A pass, surprisingly.
Slug.
Should stop being a GM who just listens to what his players tell him and change the story accordingly. It's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's have some.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I
No.
probably would have done that.
I think that's a great idea, but no, I'm not. I'm not going to just change things on a whim. And but now you look around, you don't see anyone that you recognise.
Okay. Right. Is there a free training servitor with no one?
Yeah.
Preferably one far from anyone else.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's it is quite busy, but there's plenty of space. You can go off and
Okay.
train on your own, and hopefully not stand too much close attention.
Okay. I'm going to take off my hat and put it down on the floor. Strip off all my excess gear that I don't need. Even the cravat is coming off.
You do mean business.
My armor with my shirt. I'm keeping my shirt under my armor. My shitty gang leathers. I'm putting them on because I'm paranoid. I'm going to take my auto pistol out, pop the clip out, hold it in my right hand, and I'm going to take my original walking stick, not the fancy helix topped one, and I'm going to.
I'll say the helix one is the other one. That has got the carving on. The sword stick one has a silver skull on the top.
I've got my
It's
very
blackwood.
original one. Though,
your original. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that looks. Yes, that's what you
Yeah,
started off with, and that's also
I've
like
just
more of
got
a
that.
club. That's
Yeah.
more of a club than anything. So
I'm going to wield that in my left hand. I'm going to hold my pistol in my right hand, my offhand, and I'm going to spar with this servitor, fencing it basically with the club, using the club as the walking stick as a club. But occasionally, I'm going to start bringing up the pistol in my offhand and click, throwing in the odd pretend shot at stuff.
okay. What I'd like you to do for me over how long would you like to spend?
A couple of hours.
Weapons training. A couple of hours.
I'm
Okay.
tired after that.
Okay. So I'd like you to make for me a strength test, a agility test, and a weapon skill test.
Okay, strength test. Ready for some fail. I'm gonna fate point that one.
Yep.
Have I still got 2 fate points left?
Yeah, you used your temporary one.
Yeah.
And now you're down to your 2 regular ones.
Still a fail. 3 degrees.
Okay. So 3 degrees is failure on the strength.
Agility test. That's also a fail.
Yep.
I'm not going to fate point that one. And a weapon skill test. I'm going to fate point that one.
99.
So that'll be my last fate point.
Yep.
Still a fail.
Okay, so not great rolls all in all, but as you know, for these sort of things, you are starting to accumulate. Over time, you might make improvements. But so you feel great after your training. There's nothing quite like a bit of exercise to make you feel good about yourself. And it feels good to feel more of a military man. When you face some hardship down on the planet, you face real combat. And you do allow yourself to think that, maybe you are a warrior after all. You're not just an actor and a charlatan. So,
all those hours in fencing school paid off.
Yeah. So you feel good for it. You may not have made some great rolls, but you do feel good for the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll leave you there for a bit, and we'll go back. So Alexa, you'll catch up there with Alexa. And then Jan, we're back to Jan and Arnie now. So, yes, you've got a couple of hours now before you can catch up.
I wouldn't mind doing, to be honest, just going to the training area and training my skills as well.
Yeah, you want to do a bit of combat training?
Yeah.
What about you, Jan? How would you like to spend the next couple of hours?
I'm going to start to retrace my way through the ship.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was supposed to be looking for the cat. Sorry, I got distracted by combat training. I'll go with Yard.
You're going to stick together, and you're going to head back down.
I lost myself for a second there. Sorry.
Okay. I'll bring the ship back up. So you're trying to work out where you heard the cat. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you move further. You can move into the aft side of the ship. And I'd like you to make an intelligence test, please. Yeah, so, like I say, it's confusing. I mean, firstly, the dream sequence it's quite an abstract thing, like dreams are. It's you see things, you see imagery sometimes. It's not always doesn't always perfectly transcribe to the real world, but you do feel that you know roughly where you're going, and you do feel drawn towards an aft section of the ship. And here, you believe you've found what you were looking for. There's a little section here which is 35 and 36, and this is the corpse dump and the automated incinerators, which are kind of two parts of the same room. There's an area of the ship which is given over to waste and for dead bodies and such, and they are processed into the automated incinerators and then turned back into energy for the ship. Are you sticking with him at this time, Arnie?
Yeah, I'm still going to stick with Jan. I've put myself into this cat monkey quest.
Okay, so you head off, and the corpse dump at the minute looks fairly empty. Most of the waste has been pushed into a series of shafts which lead down to the automated incinerators.
Okay.
And you think it might be down there amongst the incinerators where you heard the cat monkey yarn.
Okay, can I get down there?
Okay, so do you have any anything that might aid you in to climb down into the incinerators? You might need something like
rope.
You've got some rope? Okay.
I always carry 10 meters of rope with me. That's what I do.
Okay. So you want to do some so Arnie seems well provisioned for this sort of thing.
I'm a survivalist.
Well done, Mark.
You want to climb down into the automated incinerators.
I'm not. Yeah, I'll just
What's
find
the,
yeah.
so yeah,
Get me down there.
I think we're going to need Alexa and her contacts
You
to.
need, yeah, you need me at the top of this rope, like, because who else is going to pull you up? Come on,
Who's gonna-
you're going to pull me up.
Okay, so you shout here, kitty, 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 into the entrance of the shaft, and as you stick your head over, there's a waft of hot air, and the smell of burnt, decomposing flesh. It's quite rank, and a burnt waste assails you. I should shout down the shaft, like make an awareness test.
No man.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't pick anything up. You do hear the grinding of pistons as they go through another repetitious process. So somewhere down in the bellies of the shaft, the automated incinerators are starting up their routine again.
I'm gonna have to check it on fear. I need to be on there.
Actually,
I
I'm
might
just going to
sit here and time it. In fact, no, I'm going to go find Alexa and say, I'm going to radio Alexa and ask her for wisdom.
Okay.
Alexa, you're getting towards the end of your scrimshoring work, but you're not quite finished yet, so you can't leave it as yet. You get a comms in from Yarn.
Okay.
Wagwan, sister. I think I may have found the cat, but it's close to some kind of industrial process, and I need you to shut the process down so it's safe for me and Arnie to walk around it.
Okay, so I can shut it down. I might be able to shut it down for, I don't know, 10 minutes, something like that. I think any more than that, and I think it would be, I don't know, I think this might be a bad thing for the ship if I try to shut it down for too long.
I have a feeling that the machine spirit of the ship needs to speak to you or somebody from
So
your house.
I'm going to basically try and connect up with. I'm going to finish the scrim showing bit, put that down, and then I'm going to head over to the nearest access terminal.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to try and connect with the ship. So whip the hair thing round, and then just attach it to the plug it into the actual terminal.
Mhm.
I'm just going to try and tap into the machine spirit and just ask it if it could do me a favour.
Okay. So what are you trying to do?
Okay. What I want to do.
The ship. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to make a tech use test. I want you to have +10 for your connection via the port.
Okay, I'm using fate point on that one because that's a bottom. Again. Oh, stuff. No, not much
Not
joy.
good. And so the ship responds to you, Alexa. It goes, access not granted. Full command privileges have not been granted. Shutting down critical ship systems not permitted. Access denied.
I'm just going to basically play that. I'm going to disconnect and then I'm going to play that little message down the comms speed to Yarn.
Okay.
Ooh.
Access denied. Command privileges have not been granted.
I tried
to find out who has command privileges.
Well, you can assume the Inquisitor and the upper echelons of his staff will have the authority to shut down critical ship systems.
Fight the cat. Monkey.
Yeah. So I think the cat's down there, folks.
Okay. So we know where it is. I've got an auspex that I need to fix. That could help in this particular side quest.
Oh yeah, go on then. Yeah.
So
I just need to double check on this one, John. I just want to make sure that you've not left this at the bottom of the river.
I think it's there. I don't know.
I just having a look. Yeah, no, you've got it. It's not at the bottom of the river. So you do have your auspex, which you got from Dominic Peters.
Yeah. Can I take it out? Can I take it out?
You can take it out.
The auspex detects that the cat monkey is in your nose.
It's not the cat monkey again.
Okay, guys. Yeah, so you've all pretty much kind of joined up on a timeline now. So, Quintius, you finished your training. Alexa, you've pretty much done all your scrimshoring. You can all meet up and combine your efforts if you want.
Yeah.
Like that. I'd like to receive my new blade as well.
Okay.
Okay, so when you meet up at the workshop, Alexa shows you the Terminator. It now has the mono edge property, which turns it from primitive into mono, and gives it an extra pen of 2. In addition, beyond and above your expectations, a series of inscribing work has been done upon the blade on both sides. There's 2 Fenrisian wolves. What are they called, Johnny? Sorry.
Frecky and Gary, they're the Lehman Russ.
Yeah.
2 wolves that sit at the side of Lehman Russ. Is that right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's going to hold it like a newborn child.
Da-da-da-da.
Look at it with love. Put it on his back. And just hug Alexa and say thank you. It's beautiful.
You have found the Master Sword.
I'm going to just basically sort of awkwardly put a hand on I's back and pat.
Yes, yeah, and I'm going to awkwardly hold Alexa for a good minute to say thank you.
Okay. It's a slightly awkward hug.
whilst this is happening with my other hand, I'm just going to thrust the hand out stick with Quintius's stick and pass to gesture it towards him. So I'm patting Arnie with one whilst being hugged, and then I'm going to take the hand and gesture it towards Quintius. He's there as well.
I was waiting until the hug was over. It's fine.
Hey,
No,
so
I've got to multitasking.
so you receive your sword stick cane back.
And I'm gonna unsheath it and look at it and go, oh my, Alexa, this is quite. And stupidly, I'm just gonna stab the end of my finger with it to test how sharp it is. Just sort of pat my end on the end of the tip. And go,
Okay, it's a bit too sharp, and you cause yourself one wound.
yeah, thought I would.
It is devilishly sharp, and you know she's done an amazing job on this. It also looks perfectly polished and immaculate, wickedly sharp, and looks fearsome to wield. So, despite your misgivings between you and Alexa, she's done you a sterling job here.
I'm going to resheath it and go, thank you, Alexa. That is most gracious of you. My thanks and my compliments are with you.
So I'm basically, I've passed it over to him. He's looking at it, and my hand was just sort of open, and then I'm just going to go close the hand and go put a thumbs up, and then put it down again, and then put the other hand around Arnie and pat with.
Quintius is just standing there going, ooh.
Okay.
Anyway, it's good.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I had to hug you because can you see I've got tears here, tears of joy. This is beautiful. Anyway, I was just gonna like go quiet and hold his sword for a second.
Oh, what are we doing here? Why have I suddenly been summoned here? I need a shower. I've worked up quite a sweat.
Well, you'll be
Searching for the kitty cat.
I'm going to look for Arnie.
Currently, you're at the technical workshop.
Weeping at the sword, and then it's going to seem like a little twinkle comes out of the corner of one of my eye things. A little twinkle sort of comes there as I look up at Arnie, shedding a tear. And that's like the acknowledgement, like pleased that he's pleased with that.
Alexa's leaking machine oil from her eyes. Right, so we're in the technical workshop.
Which is I think it's number 14, I believe. Let's have a look.
13.
13. Okay, yeah, so it's here.
Okay.
So towards the aft end of the ship, so you're not far away from where the corpse dump and the automated incinerators are.
So, what time is it, Al?
It's getting on towards evening now.
That's
So if I don't know, like it's around 6 o'clock. So I don't know if you wanted some flagellation time, but if you did, that would be in around an hour or so. It's this is Anface's quarters. I don't know if you're planning to go through with it or whether you're planning on standing her up. But yeah, it's around 6 o'clock now in the evening.
I have to go for some flagellation as well. I said I'd join, didn't I?
And the doctor's cat is where?
Well, in the furnace, or just past the furnace. It's probably not in the furnace. That would be weird.
In the furnace.
Cat doom.
The area is under an industrial process. It will be difficult to keep the box.
Is there perhaps an alternate route?
You can go and have a close look, guys, if you want.
Yeah.
I'm staying at the top of my hole at the moment. Move the road.
Is there could Alexa girl, can you bring up some kind of 3D
schematic? I can access ship's schematic of the ship, that area of the ship. See if I can do that. I don't think I'll be able to override it. I don't have the authority to do that.
Well, go in and
Okay.
I can try and access schematic.
Well, my thinking is that if if this beast got down there, and yet we find it hard to get down the route you have seen, perhaps there's another route that the creature took.
Quite right, Mark. But
Okay,
perhaps
so
use routes that are too small for the rest of us.
Perhaps if we had some stuff to entice it with, we could create a trap.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to go up and go, but they have been sold. Put my hand up.
There is always more meat, Alexa.
Maybe back on the planet's surface, but it appears in short supply here on the ship.
Yes, we could do with some spare flesh, meat that nobody wanted.
What can I say?
It's augmentation time.
Entice the cat monkey with Alexa's leg.
Cook
Okay,
it for a little bit of herbs and spices. See what.
Yeah.
Try and draw out the cat monkey. Do we know anything about cat monkey besides that it's a cat monkey? Maybe some research on a cat monkey and its favourite food, things like that might be a good order of day.
Well, we'll come
Research
back.
okay, so you say you head off to the corpse dump, and there's not much. There's no corpses there or refuse. It seems like it's already been processed into the automated incinerators. There's like a series of conveyor belts and various mechanical devices that shovel towards these not chasms. What's I'm looking for? Just like chutes, and the waste and the bodies go down, and down in the bowels of the ship are the automated incinerators, and they go through a process, a repetitive process, where they incinerate everything that's down there and use that to power other areas of the ship. So the workshop, for example, will get some power from reconstituted biomass and the like. So
what about if we hadn't
so-
asked the good doctor what he feeds his cat, or if he has anything there?
you didn't ask him, no?
No, we didn't.
Well, there was some meat on the plate, so you think it is carnivorous.
Yeah. So if he has any like cat, we go and get. One of us could go and get some cat food.
Mhm. Yeah.
A trap could be created.
Thing is, though, if this is a
Fabricated.
chute down through a furnace type thing, how is it going to get back up if we try and lower it?
Let me tell you how exactly. Now, so we get the right dimensions, create a little box, put some food in it, and then we have a remote trap that basically will drop down basically this little box. So we can lower this box down the area where we think the cat is. Okay. We can put the food on a little sort of in this little box. Okay. Once we've obviously found out a bit more information about dimensions of a cat monkey and things like that, see if it'd be feasible to create a trap that we could lower down. And then basically, I've got some rope that I could use to lower it down with.
I thought there was an incinerator.
Yeah, the incinerators are down the chimney. I don't know. There's another word I'm looking for, but like a big series of pipes, which all the gunk falls down.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for?
If there's an incinerator at the bottom and we put a trap down, the trap's going to get probably torched, and even if it doesn't, and the cat monkey gets in the trap, we've got to haul it back up, and then there's a good chance we toast the cat monkey.
Yeah.
We need to either find another way down or a way of turning off the incinerator.
Okay. I feel that shutting down a critical ship system in order to retrieve a cat monkey seems a little bit flippant.
That's fucking legit, bro. What are you talking about?
And let's see if we can find an alternative way down.
Yes.
How can we access? I mean, I'm assuming that this map we've got isn't every single square millimeter of the ship.
No, far from it.
Ducts, tunnels.
Yeah.
How can we
Can
find
Alexa?
an alternate way?
Okay. Right, I'm going to see if I can access the ship system.
So Alexa can try and she's already tried to turn off the system and she's failed. She can have a go at finding the ship schematics for that area. I'd like you to make a tech use test and it'll be at -30. As you port with the ship, you get +10 for your access port. -20. -20 in total. So it's -30 +10.
Okay.
Okay. So you access with the ship, and the ship speaks to you and says, "Full access has not yet been given to Acolyte Beta 5362. Access to ship's schematics has been denied."
Okay. So much fail.
Chat your chat
I
up
haven't
your.
got any, I haven't got any fate. Remembered.
Oh no, you've already used it. Yeah, you haven't got any fate. You burnt it, didn't you? You burnt your fate
But
point. So
You can.
you
access
burnt
the
it inside the crock.
schematics.
Sorry.
So you can't access the schematics.
No,
So who can?
I can.
that tech. The armor in the base of the armor essentially do it.
It would probably have access and authority to these sort of things.
I would imagine. I would imagine he does.
Okay. So as you're discussing evacuating this cat monkey, there are sounds of sirens cut in over your conversation, and the lights in the corridor and in the room where you're stood start to pulse red. And the ship's voice, the female voice, pipes over the whole Vox system. And it says, "Warning, warning, orc threat detected. All crew to battle stations. All acolytes report to the bridge.
I
Warning,
researched the wrong
warning.
Xenos.
Orc threat detected. All crews to battle stations. All acolytes report to the bridge." And it repeats over and over again this message from the ship.
Okay. I think we should
You've become attuned to the low thrum from the plasma engines that resonate through the whole ship, and now you sense that this thrum has become a keening. You sense that the engines are now at full power, and the ship is undergoing evasive maneuvers. And there's a series of detonations and explosions reverberating throughout the ship. And you're wrenched. Most of you, let's have a agility test for everyone.
Oh, give me a second. I'm getting something else.
Well, it's not too important, but anyone who fails the agility test will fall to the floor if they lose balance. And there's a terrible wrenching noise as you feel like the whole ship is being fallen under attack. The lights are still flickering red, and the ship's voice comes again. It goes, "Warning, warning, void shields are down. All crew brace for impact. Warning, warning, void shields are down. All crew brace for impact."
I'm bracing for impact by grabbing onto Arnie.
Okay. You grab hold of Arnie?
Yeah, but Arnie doesn't even know that's his agility test. 1 minute.
There's a terrible sound. It's the sound of impact. Multiple impact. You hear collisions along the hull and the wrenching sound of metal being torn. And suddenly you can hear screams and guttural roars that are not human. "Warning, warning, orc threat detected. All crew to battle stations. All acolytes report to the bridge."
To the bridge.
And that is where we shall leave it for tonight.
Awesome.
I just want to those agility tests. Did you have you made those yet? I just want to see who's actually managed to stay on the feet. I think Brownie has. Okay.
I failed. I'm clinging to Arnie's leg.
Okay, so you're clinging to Annie's leg. Alexa, you've fallen on the ground. Don't roll 100, anyone, or you might fall in the corpse dump.
1 minute. I can do an agility test.
While you're down there.
That's working again. I come home and I come back through in the rain, and it stopped my pad from working for a second because I had too much moisture on it.
Nobody wants a moist pad.
Yes, please. Can I have 2?
Ooh, of course. One.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking good. So Arnie and Jan managed to stay on their feet. Quintius and Alexa, the impacts and the wrenching around of the ship has made you lose your footing. Okay, guys. So that is where we shall leave it for tonight.